let's go. Oh, and I feel good today with my wake up in the morning espresso. I feel good today. It's my feel good breakfast show.
Whoo! Yes, Mzansi, good morning to you, beautiful souls. Can you believe it? It's one of my favorite days of the week. It's Health Tuesday on your Feel Good Breakfast Show. And of course, this week we're shedding light on National Kidney Awareness Week, and we've got some experts in the building. A nephrologist, Professor Nicola Werner, as well as physician and nephrologist Craig Orenser in the building to answer so many of our questions. And this is exactly your chance for an on-air consultation. And of course, Mzansi, we got you. So send through those voice notes to 063 408 8863 because we are here to serve you. Now, on top of this, we're also going to be exploring the globe with this morning's delectable recipes. Now, listen to this. Oh, it's such a delicious list. It's tomato tart, step 1. Number 2, we've got a masala chai and spinach chili bites. Number 3, we've got Mexican grilled chicken Cobb salad. We've also got corn and sweet potato fritters, and oh, the belly is just gonna be happy today. You definitely want to stick around for this. It's going to be absolute magic. And let me remind you one more thing before we get into the rest of the magic of the show. Join me right now. Take a breath. Feel that life inside of you. That's the magic that you've been blessed with infinite possibility to do whatever you wish today. But before you do anything else, watch this show and watch this next beautiful soul right now standing by to say good morning to you. Let's say hello to Zoe Brown.
Oh, thank you, Raul. Well, a very good morning to you. Yes, it's Tuesday and it's all about focusing on our own health. So for this morning, our good morning post to you on social media, it's very easy. We only have one body and we want to know from you, have you perhaps had a health scare which forced you to make some drastic life changes? If you feel comfortable to share that with us, you can send us a voice note. We love hearing your voice on 063 408 8863 or feel free to comment on the Facebook post. We will be taking a look at those comments and voice notes as the show goes on. But of course, grab those coffee cups, get your morning underway. Here's Raul with those headlines.
Yes, it's time to kick off official duties and starting with national news. I know a lot of South Africans will be confused by this because, believe it or not, significant reductions in the fuel price have been announced. Now, petrol will drop by 2 rand and 4 cents per litre at midnight tonight, and diesel will go down by 56 cents per litre. Yes, please. Now, the price of paraffin will also cost 1 rand and 9 cents less, and the price of gas will drop by 1 rand 65 per kilogram. Now, no motorists on the coast will pay 22 rand and 73 cents for a litre of 95 octane fuel, and will cost people in Gauteng 23 rand per litre. Now, sticking to our national news fronts and heading over to news from airport management at OR Tambo International. Now in Kempton Park, they say the runway that was temporarily closed due to a fault fire yesterday has been reopened. Now the airport was forced to close one of its runways after dry grass caught fire, and the Ekurhuleni Emergency Services spokesperson William Nkladi said the emergency services had battled the blaze since 11 a.m. yesterday. Now he said it was a massive grass fire and quoted, "Emergency fire trucks as well as the other fire trucks battled to quell the flames," unquote. He said this, and on top of that, 2 non-operational aircrafts were damaged in the process. Well, from our national news headlines, we head over to international news. Now, reporting from Kenya, where Kenya's Supreme Court yesterday upheld the August 9 election of William Ruto as president in a unanimous decision, or otherwise known, this reported by Chief Justice Martha Kroom, who said, throwing out a petition brought by opposition leader Raila Odinga. Now, Ruto, 55, who has been serving as outgoing President Uhuru Kenyatta's deputy since 2013, takes the helm of a Western ally in an unstable region. Now, it hosts the regional headquarters of many global companies as well as organizations. Now, continuing with our international news and heading over to China now, where China has become the first country to approve a COVID vaccine that is inhaled. Now, this made by CanSino, it has similar ingredients to its injected vaccine, inhaled as a fine mist, Convidecia Air can provide good protection after just one inhalation. Now, this being said by the company. Now, the researchers, including teams in the UK and the US, have been investigating nasal spray vaccines. Now, scientists say these may give added immunity in the lining of the nose and upper airways where COVID typically enters the body. Now, we're putting on some interesting news. In an effort to make something good of a bad thing, residents on the island of Gotland in Sweden have spent this year letting their green lawns die off in a mass effort to conserve water. Now, on offer for the winner of a competition to determine the ugliest lawn was the re-landscaping of his or her garden into a low-water environment. Now, Gotland has been receiving unprecedented numbers of tourists in recent years, putting an absolute strain on groundwater supply as the population can double on the island in the warmest months of the year. Now, the increase in demand for water supplies, coupled with decreasing supply, led the island to initiate an irrigation ban, to which the locals responded with their ugly lawn competition. Now, the winning lawn was humorously described as, and quote, a really lousy lawn that lives up to all our expectations of Gotland's ugliest lawn, unquote. Now, this makes one wonder, has an old saying not transformed into a new one, namely, the grass is always browner on the other side of the fence. Well, I'm here for the sustainability, of course. Nature boy, loving this one. But we've got to continue with the rest of the headlines. And the G-Man is back, and he's here to give us the latest when it comes to sport.
Thank you so much. Well, not the best note to start on, unfortunately, as we hone in on football first. Copa America winners Brazil were once again too strong for African women's champions, or Cup of Nations champions, Banyana, as they ran out 6-0 winners in their friendly in Durban. So fresh off that 3-0 win in their first clash on Friday, Brazil, well, they proved a cut above their African opponents. Deborah de Oliveira, scoring twice for the visitors, as the South Americans netted 4 second-half goals to take the game away from the hosts. Desiree Ellis's charges, they're going to have to improve drastically if they want to compete at that level at the 2023 World Cup. And staying with footballing news, lots to get excited about tonight. The Champions League returns this evening with a host of fixtures to look out for. So defending champions Real Madrid, they're away to Celtic, with the Scottish side making a first appearance in the group stage. And that's for 4 years. Then Chelsea are away to Dinamo Zagreb, looking to kickstart their stuttering season. While Man City and Erling Haaland, they come up against Sevilla. Now, Haaland has netted 10 goals in his 6 Premier League games for City so far. And get this, 27 in 25 Champions League matches so far. So expect him on the score sheet. The standout clash tonight, though, has to be PSG hosting Juventus. So PSG have never beaten Juve in 8 previous Champions League meetings, losing their last 6 on the trot. Then on to cricket news. The Joburg Super Kings have announced former Proteas all-rounder Albie Morkel as their assistant coach. So the Super Kings will be captained by Faf du Plessis, with former New Zealand captain Stephen Fleming in the head coach position. Morkel has played 58 ODIs for the Proteas, scoring 782 runs at an average of 23.69. Then in the T20 format, he represented South Africa on 50 different occasions, scoring 572 runs at an impressive strike rate of 142.28, taking 26 wickets as well. Specialist in this format of the game. Then on to the year's last Grand Slam, things really heating up in Flushing Meadows. Australia's Nick Kyrgios sent defending champion Daniil Medvedev tumbling out of the US Open. So the 23rd seed, Kyrgios, produced some scintillating shot making on his way to a superb 7-6, 3-6, 6-3, 6-2 win over the world number 1 from Russia. Then there were no such problems for Andrei Rublev and Casper Ruud, who both advanced to the quarterfinals. Then in the women's draw, rising American star Golf, she kept her hopes alive with a battling 7-5, 7-5 win over China's Zhang Shuai. The 18-year-old 12th seed will now play France's in-form Caroline Garcia for a place in the semi-finals. Then Ayla Tomljanovic, she followed up her victory over Serena Williams with another battling display to reach the quarterfinals as well. That's where we leave our sport for this hour. At least we'll touch on those headlines again at 7. Right now, let's set the tone for the day on the weather front.
Thanks, G-Man. Well, we kick off this morning with news of a major move to green energy. The City of Cape Town says it has budgeted 86 million rand for the next 3 financial years for the operation and maintenance of a landfill gas flaring system at the Vissershoek landfill. This as the city aims to generate electricity from landfill gas. Organic matter that ends up in the landfill decomposes in the absence of oxygen and forms landfill gas that is rich in methane. Now, Mayoral Committee member for Urban Waste Management, Grant Twig, says to reduce emissions from the landfill, wells are dug into the landfill site to extract the gas. The wells are then connected to the flare compound where it is combusted and in the future be diverted to a gas engine to generate electricity. Twig reiterated, and I quote, although the expected contribution of waste to energy activities is not sufficient to reduce load shedding, the reduction in emissions will be achieved effectively at no additional cost to the ratepayer. Now, from landfill news, we now head on over to those gorgeous sunrise views that you share with us. First up, we have Arend Williams, who shared this one from Macassar out in Somerset West. Just look at the orange and yellow hues across the morning sky with the city lights in the distance. Then Cameron shared this cloud-filled sky with the sun rising up in the distance. And this was taken from her home in Vosloosrus, East Johannesburg. Diane van der Hoven shared this bright morning sky from Howick in KwaZulu-Natal, and you can see the sun lighting up the greenery this morning. Alva Martin shared this bright tangerine sky all the way from Richards Bay this morning. And finally, Alma in Atlantis sent us this one, as you can see, catching the sun's first rays this morning in Cape Town. So thank you for that, Alma. If you have a beautiful sunrise view that you'd love to share with us, please send it on our WhatsApp line. That number is 063 408 8863. Well, let's head on over to your temperatures. In Limpopo, Polokwane, your low is 10, your high 26. Mbombela 13, 21. Pretoria 11:28, Johannesburg 9 reaching a high of 26. Mahikeng 12:31, Klerksdorp 8:29, Kimberley 6 reaching a high of 24. Sunny in Bloemfontein, 2:25, Richards Bay 14:21, Pietermaritzburg 9 reaching a high of 20 with rain today. Durban, you can also expect some wet conditions, 16 is your low, 21 your high. Mthatha sunny with a low of 6, a high of 21. Now staying in the Eastern Cape, 10 for East London is your low, 20 your high for today. Cradock 3 reaching a high of 21, Gqeberha 9 reaching a high of 18. In the Western Cape, George, your low is 8, your high 16. Cape Town 8:16, Worcester 6 with a high of 19 for today. Sunny conditions in Sutherland, 3 is your low, 17 your high, and Uppington expect some sunny conditions, a low of 5 and a high of 25 degrees Celsius. Well, that's where we leave your weather for now on your Feel Good Breakfast Show. Please send those sunrise views to us, and we'll have another update shortly after 7.
Thank you so much, Zoe. Now I am even more excited. Not only is it Health Tuesday, but I get to get the assistance from you beautiful souls. Now, when it comes to most things in life, confidence is absolutely key. And I think all men can agree that the right suit is all you need for that extra confidence boost. Now, of course, it is Tuesday, and I need you to help me choose between 2 suits, and they both are absolutely exceptional. Now, look at what we have beside me here. We've got option number 1. Now, this is a well-tailored contemporary slim fit linen suit paired with a leafy, beautiful leafy shirt and a cream mono sneaker to match. This one is screaming something special to me, but of course, look at this powerhouse for option number 2 as well. This is a navy check suit. It's got a nice polished and sophisticated look. I know I'm gonna feel good in this one too. It's paired with a plain golfer because I think the subtleties here don't need to outshine the suit itself. And then of course, we're keeping it nice and standard with a nice brown leather over there. And Mzansi, this is going to be a very, very tough one because I don't know which one to choose between these two. I think they're both going to look absolutely exceptional. I wish I could just wear both of them at the same time, but of course the choice is yours and I need you to come through. So head over to the Expresso social media pages and vote for your favorite suit. And of course, don't forget to include the hashtag Style by Woolies. And yeah, the rest of the power is in your hands, Mzansi. We'll see you soon. Hopefully you can make me look good. So come through with the magic. We'll see you in a bit.
Only you can make my day.
New Revlon color stay matte like crayon. Play it up. Bold matte color goes on as easy as a crayon. Feels barely there. Super soft, 12 rocket poppin' shades. New Revlon color stay matte like crayon. Wanna play?
Must I say what you want me to say? Testing 1, 2, 3. Sorry? Testing 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. All good?
Testing 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Testing 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Dr. Craig Aronson.
Do you own your skin? Do you wear it bravely, even when others try to dim its glow? Does it represent your strength, your heritage, or does it express your brave and unconditional love? New look Ingrams, your skin, your brave.
It's my feel-good breakfast show.
Welcome back. It is your feel-good breakfast show Expresso on S3. Now this week, from the 5th to the 9th of September, South Africa celebrates National Kidney Awareness Week and focuses on the function and health of kidneys. Now, kidneys are very important as any other vital organs, and the consequences of not looking after them can be severe. Now, nephrologist Professor Nikki Wern and Dr. Craig Aronson are with us this morning in studio to chat about kidney health. And if you perhaps have a question for Professor or our doctor, please send us a voice note. That number is 063 408 8863. Good
Nikki,
morning.
Kay, good morning.
Good morning.
How are you guys doing?
Yeah, we're great. Thank you.
Thank you for being here, and I'm so excited to get educated and as well as educate Mzansi. But let's go straight into it. What are the kidneys? Where are they? Where is it located? And what do they do? Nikki, maybe I can ask you.
Okay, so the kidneys, firstly, they're located in your back, so
Yeah.
the back of in your abdomen.
So those kidney shots are
Yeah.
actually kidney shots.
They
It actually
are,
hits
they
the
are
spot.
actually kidney
Okay.
shots, and then and they have actually multiple functions. So they're very clever, our kidneys. They actually get rid of all the waste in our body,
Okay.
particularly important for getting rid of salt. And salt is also a big problem because if we can't get rid of it, it makes us more prone to getting high blood pressure. And then it has some actually really interesting functions. It actually helps produce hemoglobin, which carries your oxygen around the body. It helps produce vitamin D, which is important for your bones. So it's quite an important
Very important organ.
Yeah.
Well, Dr. Aronson, I'm going to ask you, we have two kidneys, but we can survive and function with only one. Why is that the case?
Right. Good morning. Thanks, Zoe, for that question. So, yes, we all should have two kidneys, although in a small percentage of people, many people are actually only born with one kidney. More or less 5% of the population, one could say.
Sure.
And it's really important that you have two, because two is always better than one. But more importantly than that is that, these two kidneys function as a reserve for one another. So if the one fails, the other one can do the work that the other would have done. And probably more importantly is this whole concept of being able to donate a kidney, right, which we can talk about, a transplantation. And, you know, one can donate a kidney and live without one kidney and live with just the other kidney for an entire lifetime, and be an altruist and donate that kidney to a potential or a person who might need, who might be on dialysis and need a transplantation. So having two kidneys somehow was designed phylogenetically by the higher forces to serve a purpose that we are now beginning to realize is important for humankind.
Well, Craig, I mean, having one or two, they both sound equally as important, right? And I would imagine health is obviously important to keep them functioning. As Nikki just mentioned, they're quite essential in our sort of functioning. What then would be the sort of, let's call it do's and don'ts when it comes to kidney health? I mean, it's definitely something you want to maintain as one of the healthiest organs in our body to keep functioning, right?
Yes.
But what are some of those do's and don'ts when it comes to health of kidneys?
All right, so, you know, this being Kidney Awareness Week, I think probably the biggest message in all these health awareness periods is for us to become aware of what the kidneys do, first of all.
Yeah.
And then secondly is for us to become aware what the kidneys do, and especially the signs to look out for when the kidneys are no longer working that well. You know, I think we all are very aware of our kidneys because we all pass urine. Right, and that seems quite intuitive that people have an acute awareness of having kidneys, but you may only really become more aware of it when something goes drastically wrong. And the obvious ones are when you stop passing urine, or when you pass urine that looks slightly abnormal, for instance, if there's blood in your urine. And those are just the very obvious signs, you know, the obvious signs that something is wrong with the kidney. And that's obviously one of the first reasons why people suddenly become aware of their kidneys. But there are more reasons than that to be aware of your kidneys, and more reasons than that to be looking after your kidneys well in advance of disease. And that's probably where we need to have more education, teaching people that, you know, once you're reaching your adult age of, you know, say over 40 or 50, and more in particular, as mentioned earlier, if you have comorbid diseases like hypertension and particularly diabetes as well, you know, those two conditions in particular and a range of other conditions, you have to be more conscientious about your kidneys, even when you're passing urine normally, and even when you don't particularly feel unwell about, you know, your condition. You need to go to your doctor, have some very basic blood tests and urine tests done. And with those very simple tests, we can tell you whether you are at risk, at least, of having kidney disease. You know, the danger of this all comes to the fact that somewhere along the line, if you're not well aware of what can happen to you, you're going to end up possibly on with kidney failure. And that is a very difficult road to travel.
Yeah.
You know, having to be dependent on treatment modalities which we call dialysis, and then having to be listed for the potential of a kidney transplant. And those are really, those are available in South Africa. That's the good news. But unfortunately, you know, as Professor Wern will tell you, working in a state sector hospital, it's not available to just everyone who needs it. And unfortunately, that's the reality of living in a country where, you know, there are resource limitations.
Yeah.
And those kind of limitations make it very dangerous if you're not aware of what is going on in your kidneys.
Okay, well, this is exactly why we're having these conversations, because between the 5th and the 9th of September, it is National Kidney Awareness Week. We have the Prof and the Doc here with us. If you have any questions for them, please send them through on WhatsApp. We will be unpacking some of the common kidney diseases as well as so much more with what's to come. So send us a voice note. That number is 063 408 8863.
Thank you so much, Zoe. Your job isn't done yet. I'm going to ask you to come join me on this side of the studio. Here's a fun fact. Did you know that plant-based diets appear to boost your kidney health? Well, this one is soy good.
Soy goodness from nature. Source of plant protein. Naturally cholesterol-free, lactose-free. Made with love by Clover.
Now, unless you are the vegan in the room, there is generally a vegan or vegetarian at a dinner party. And if you're not sure what to make for them, our Clover Good Hope Soy Tomato Tart is, as I said, soy good. Everyone is going to absolutely love it. And this is a great first foray into the veg space if you're looking to do something yourself. And you can see how quick and easy it is to impress your guests with this plant-based dish. It's really cool. There are a couple of little hacks thrown into the mix. And our Zozo is going to help us out with the filling of our tart.
Oh, I'm hoping you're going to talk me through it because I'm the perfect assistant in the kitchen.
I know this, so I know this, and this is really, really simple, and it's quite impressive in the end, and it's a lovely flavor profile. I love the tomato and basil flavor profile, and we've got some sneaky ways of kind of replacing the egg, replacing the cheese to create our beautiful tart. So what we've done there is you've got a blind baked base. So in order to create the base, we put the pastry in, then you put some baking paper over either some baking beans or some rice or something like that to push it down to hold its shape. About 15 minutes, take the paper out, and you've got this beautiful crispy blind baked base.
Oh,
then what I'm going to
fantastic.
need you to do is line that base with our tomato. You can pick up our little basil pieces and chop them up into small bits.
I'll
and then
do
we've got some
that.
garlic, and we've got our oregano. And if you like other herbs, if they really sing for you, go for that. But I love this flavor profile. So that is the base of our tart. And as you can see, fresh, beautiful flavors that just combine so well. Absolutely love that. And then we've got our kind of middle filling and our cheese sauce. So that's what I'm going to start on right now. And we're being quite crafty here. So we've got our yeast. And this yeast has a beautiful flavor profile, and it's quite cheesy in its flavor profile, so it's often used as an additive or something to replace the cheese in a dish. Then we've got our cashews for a bit of body.
Oh, and you know what? There's just something about cashews.
I absolutely adore it. We've got some oil to give it a little bit of substance and a little bit of salt, and we are ready to roll. Then what I'm going to ask you to do next, how beautiful does that
It
look?
looks beautiful, but of course, I'm seeing more spices here. Do you want me to add the garlic or not
garlic
yet?
everywhere and oregano everywhere, and try and
we
get that
love
flavor
garlic.
as liberally mixed
You know, I
through
don't
as
hold
possible.
back when it comes to garlic.
More oil.
And a bit of oregano.
Oh, that smells lovely. And this is as easy as it is to create a beautiful, and it's quite impactful. And I think if you are going that veg route, to do something with a lot of flavor is vital.
I'll get you a little bit of water. Sometimes just
Find a
adding
bit
a
more
little
moisture.
bit more liquid.
And then what we've got going on here is the mixture to bind it all together. So obviously we've got our soy, our Good Hope soy, which is just so beautiful. We use it in so many different ways. We have got our flaxseed powder, which we've mixed with 2 or 3 tablespoons of water, about a cup, that should be fine. And then our tomato paste, and if you can mix that all together, and then that you're going to pour into our pastry tin, and that's going to form kind of the binding agent that's going to tie it all together to give us a bit of body to our tart.
Oh, fantastic.
And it really is as simple as that. The Clover Good Hope soy milk is dairy-free, it's preservative-free, and it's a source of protein with great nutritional value as well. It really is a wonder addition to your kitchen. Great for drinking, also great for baking, and in this case, great for cooking as well. I'm just going to add a little bit more moisture to this mix.
Add a little bit of our tomato paste.
And then a whole lot of elbow grease, and try and get that
Whole
mixed
lot of elbow
thoroughly
grease.
as you can. Mix this
We're
through.
getting there, G-Man. You know, sometimes you just have to be a bit more persistent in
You
the
just got to
kitchen.
work for it.
I actually feel like I need to add a little bit more of our soy goodness.
Beautiful. And that's obviously going to set in the oven. And these are going to be your 3 layers, and that's starting to look very cheesy indeed.
I don't think I've ever had a tomato tart, so this is definitely a first.
I absolutely love playing around with these flavor profiles, and for me this tomato and basil, it's just so fresh, it pops, and it speaks to the new season as well. There we go, that's looking beautiful. It actually looks like a cheese sauce. I absolutely love that. You can obviously use an electric mixer to take it to a level further.
smoother level.
But that's ideal. So then you can pour that in over our tomatoes. Then we're going to add our cheesy sauce on top of that. You pop it into the oven, 180 for about 30 minutes or so. You need it to set, and then you are A for away. You've got an absolutely beautiful, completely vegan-friendly tomato and basil tart. So hopefully this is something that you can try at home. And never mind just your vegetarian friends. This is going to impress everybody. It's beautiful, it's fresh, and it smacks of the change of season. Absolutely beautiful.
Fantastic. Well, if you want to get your hands on this recipe, we have it on our website. It's expressoshow.com. And if you've missed any of the steps, we've got a quick recap for
Easy
you.
peasy.
Made with love by Clover. Only you can make my day.
Good morning, everybody.
Tasting mic, apples, bacon, beer, brandy, bread, butter, cheese, cake, cocoa, coffee, eggs, fish, flour, ham. Talk. What are you changing?
Oh, so we were kind of like, yeah, the common causes of kidney disease, right?
Yes.
But in part two, we're also asking the same question of
It's my feel-good breakfast show.
Yes, Mzansi, welcome back to Feel Good Breakfast Show, and we are carrying on with all the good stuff as our two professionals and specialists are in the building. And of course, this week is National Kidney Awareness Week, and according to the Association for Dietetics, I hope I pronounced that correctly, in South Africa, those suffering from hypertension, diabetes, obesity, anyone that's maybe even overweight should possibly pay special attention to how the conditions may affect the kidneys. Now, we've got nephrologist Professor Nikki Wern and Dr. Craig Aronson in the building once again, and they're still here to chat to us about kidney health as well as how to cope with kidney disease. So of course for you, Mzansi, if you have any questions for our panel of experts, then come through on the WhatsApp voice note line, and that's 063-408-8863, because we are here to serve you.
That's right. Well, Professor Nikki, I'm going to start off with you. When it comes to the common kidney diseases that you get, what are some of the common ones and what are some of the symptoms?
Okay, you actually mentioned some of the common ones already, and in South Africa, our commonest ones are hypertension, diabetes, and then we've got this like range of glomerulonephritis, which is actually inflammation of the little filtering units of the kidney. And I just want to say at this point that unfortunately the kidney doesn't say I'm unwell until probably 75% of your kidney function is lost.
Oh, wow.
So this is why we want to be making everybody aware, because it's actually about going and getting yourself checked out before you have symptoms, because 75% is a lot, and often we can't bring you back from that. So the important thing is to check that your blood pressure is good, your sugars are okay, and if you do have high blood pressure and diabetes, that you actually manage them well. Now this like interesting group of glomerulonephritis or glomerulonephritis is a bit more tricky, but the way way we can pick them up is actually by going to your GP and making sure that we've got a dipstick in our urine and make sure that there's no blood or protein in them. They're the tricky ones because a lot of people do not know that they've had it, and then they go to end-stage kidney disease and actually have already lost their kidney function before they're actually detected. Wow. So that is a very concerning thing. And then other causes are that there are some genetic causes that often run in families, but not always. And then a couple of other important ones are kidney stones. So if you've got a family history of kidney stones, just to keep an eye out for that. And then there's a whole group of kind of urological or bladder problems that can also cause kidney failure. So it's quite a wide spectrum of diseases.
But it does seem as though prevention is definitely better than cure.
Prevention is definitely the cure.
Craig, maybe I'm going to ask you then, let's say hypothetically the symptoms are already showing and we are 75% into the issue already. What are our options then when it comes to, let's say, treatment, or how do we prevent this or cure these issues? Is there any option for us?
Yeah. So that's a very good question. So the important thing to remember is that, as Nikki alluded, one of the most important things is to treat the cause of what is causing the kidney failure very well. So one of our most important jobs is to treat diabetes very well and to treat hypertension very well. And in treating those conditions, you are treating the kidneys, right, in preventing them from having damage from those diseases. So it's not always, our patients always want to know, doctor, what are you giving me for my kidneys to make my kidneys better? And yes, there are very specific drugs on the market that target kidney function and that can improve your kidney function specifically. But by and large, these are drugs that are related to other chronic conditions. And if you can optimize those, then you can improve your kidney function. The aspect of kidney disease is that we need to be able to monitor the kidney function very well through its stages. And the important reason for doing that is because at different stages of your kidney disease, you have different treatment modalities that become either relevant or in other cases irrelevant, and you have to possibly stop certain drugs that you initially would have started with, but later on become detrimental to your health. And then, of course, as we said earlier, once you've reached the last stage or the end stage of your kidney disease, hopefully not for many years, but once you've reached the end stage, then unfortunately, the main form of treatment becomes dialysis treatment, right? And we have different forms of dialysis treatment. We have the type of dialysis where a patient comes into a dialysis clinic and spends about 3 or 4 hours on a dialysis machine every second day of their life.
Oh, wow.
Sure.
Right, and that's a huge undertaking for a patient and a huge life-changing set of circumstances to the patient and the family, not to mention the expense that those people go through, to spend all this time on a dialysis machine. We also have options of treating your kidney failure at home with a modality which we call peritoneal dialysis, right? And that is a very attractive option, something that we can roll out a lot more than these, dialysis clinics where you have to sit on these machines that cost an enormous amount of money. But that is the type of dialysis you can do at home in the comfort of your own environment. And it's actually a very effective form of therapy. And I know Professor Wayne and myself, we are both very interested in getting more people on peritoneal home-based dialysis. And then lastly, of course, kidney transplantation.
Okay. Wow. Well, I'm glad that there is at least some form of a solution to any of these issues. So you're not on your own, Mzansi. And of course, don't forget, the specialists are going to be going through a lot of these questions and a lot of the education when it comes to our kidney health. So come through with those voice notes. We'd love to dive in and have a conversation with you. They are here to serve, of course. So in the last part, hopefully we can hear from you, Mzansi, and serve you. But for now, let's find out what you have to say about any life-changing issues that you've maybe gone through yourself.
Yes, indeed. Our Health Focus on a Tuesday really does reinforce the importance of the health professionals in our lives. And every Tuesday we bring you a very special segment called Pharmacy of the Week. It's just a very short feature that acknowledges the incredible people working on the front line. And they've been busy over the last few years. This is just our ways to say thank you to these brave healthcare workers, proudly brought to you by Adcock Ingram OTC, who are, as we know, the sponsors of Brave. So let's take a look at this week's awesome Pharmacy of the Week. It's the Van Heer Kern Pharmacy in Littleton.
Our pharmacies are on the front line of healthcare. This is Pharmacy of the Week.
When I wake up in the morning, I've got a passion for people, and I like to serve the community with the energy I've got, knowing that I'm making a difference in the world out there. That's my one goal in life, to make a difference, to make sure everyone out there is getting the right treatment, and that's my passion for being a pharmacist. Community is important to me because they become like a family. We're becoming friends. We know them by their names. We've got a feeling for them, and we know in what kind of mind state they are. So it's basically like a family to us. So that's why it's important to me.
The best experience of all pharmacies, it is a family pharmacy, and every time I came in here, they are friendly, helpful.
They're professional, they're courteous, they make sure that the medication is correct, and if there are pills missing, they always make a point of contacting me and telling that the missing tablets are available, and then I'll come through to collect them.
We get a kick out of it, giving you the best service ever.
Pharmacy of the Week, proudly brought to you by Adcock Ingram OTC, sponsors of Brave.
Are cold and flu symptoms disrupting your day? Adcock Ingram self-medication offers relief. Available without prescription. Adcock Ingram OTC, adding value to life.
Oh man, where would we be without these warriors? Now please remember that September is National Pharmacy Month. In fact, self-care, it's a human right, and your pharmacist is your partner. So please support your local pharmacy. They are a pillar within our community. And this is brought to you by Adcock Ingram OTC, sponsors of Brave, building communities one pharmacy at a time.
Defeat your mucus monster, Mucofizz. Loosen mucus and phlegm for clearer airways. Brought to you by Pharmacodynamics.
Good morning to
Yes, Mzansi, welcome back. Oh, I'm loving this conversation, and we're going to continue with just that. We are discussing kidneys as we bring awareness this National Kidney Awareness Week to you, Mzansi. Now, did you know the following, that hypertension actually affects approximately 25% of the adult population, and it actually is the cause of chronic kidney failure in 21% of patients on renal replacement. Now, apologies, I think my mic is just cut off, so I'm going to ask the assistants of Zoe to take over from here so that you can hear everything that is so important right now. Apologies.
Of course. Now, we have asked you for WhatsApp voice notes, and we have Professor Nikki Wern and Dr. Craig Aronson with us in studio, and they are here to chat about kidney health. Now, we've asked you to pose any questions to our experts, so please, let's take a listen to the first one that came through from Charles.
Good morning, everybody. Good morning to Expresso team. I'd just like to ask the doctor, can kidneys cause your urine to burn, or is it only like a bladder infection or something? I'd just like to get some more info on this, please. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Charles. So Charles wants to know if if it's the kidneys that can cause urine to burn, or is the bladder involved?
Okay, so thank you, Charles, for giving us that question. So actually, when the kidneys are, your urine is burning when you pass urine, at that point it actually is down in the bladder. But the concern is that the infection can travel up from the bladder into the ureters, into the kidneys, and then we can get a condition called pyelonephritis. So they are connected. Warning signs are when you have that burning urine that it's probably in the bladder, but the concern is if it moves up into the kidneys, and then what we tend to experience is more flank pain in the back. Often associated with fever and feeling quite unwell. So yes, the two are, and if it gets to that point, it's really important that you seek medical care. I mean, even if you get burning urine, it's important to actually ensure you get that checked out.
I definitely think, I mean, in that instance, you definitely want to get it checked out regardless, because there is definitely a concern. We've got another voice note coming through, of course. Thank you again, Charles, for that one. This one is from Gail. Let's hear what she has to say.
Good morning, Morning Expresso team and doctors. I have lupus and antiphospholipid syndrome. I have stage 3D kidney failure. And I haven't been given much hope by the doctors. They say there's nothing they could do. I go to a government hospital. There's nothing they could do for my kidneys. And I can't have a transplant, neither can I have dialysis. Doc, what do I do? And what more can I expect from this? Thank you.
Oh, wow. Gail, thank you for sharing. Doc, do you want to take this?
Yeah. So, Gail's condition, which she alludes to there, systemic lupus erythematosus, is a very unfortunate condition that does unfortunately affect predominantly female patients, and unfortunately also affects them in virtually the prime of their lives. And it's a condition that causes inflammation throughout the body. Unfortunately, it can affect the kidneys in a very dramatic way as well. Now, she sounds very down and dejected about it, and unfortunately that is the case in some very bad condition, in some very forms of lupus erythematosus. But, this is a condition of inflammation, and so she would have been offered anti-inflammatory treatment. And as we've said before, the other conditions that that also contribute, like hypertension, also comes into that, and we often use some of these antihypertensive treatments to reduce not only the pressure within the kidney, but also reduce inflammation in the kidney. And in so doing, we try our very best to drag more and more life out of that kidney by reducing inflammation, pressure, and infection.
Okay.
It's not all doom and gloom for our lupus patients. We try our best. We run at Fritters, we have a very dedicated clinic that looks after those patients. And it's probably one of the biggest fields of research at this point, where we're looking into very targeted therapy to target that inflammation within the kidney, hoping that we can isolate the kidney inflammation without causing damage to the rest of the patient, in layman's terms. Lupus patients shouldn't really give up hope. The important thing is be aware of it, be aware of your condition, follow the rules and the advices put out by the doctors. And probably one of the most important things in those patients is very close follow-up with the doctor. We run a lupus clinic where we see these patients, I think, almost every third or fourth month or so. And, keeping a very close eye on her condition, that blood pressure and what is happening with in a medication and so forth is a way of getting more life out of that kidney.
All right. Well, I can't thank you enough, Nikki and Craig, for the incredible conversation we've had this morning, for bringing more light to kidney awareness this week, especially. I think it's obviously clearly so important. And for you, Mzansi, I hope you enjoyed this conversation too. Of course, seek any medical help that you can if you find any of these symptoms occurring with you. Hypertension and everything else that we've listed, it does go on. And of course, don't just sit there, don't wait. Prevention, of course, is better than cure. So again, thank you all. Have an incredible day. And Mzansi, I hope that this was something that could shed some more light on the situation. Here's to Kidney Awareness Week, and here's to your health.
Indeed, we only have one body. We need to look after it as best we can. Now, we put it to you guys this morning. Have you ever had a health scare that forced you to make a drastic change in your life? A massive wake-up call. I'll ask you to send through some voice notes, so please keep them coming. 063-408-8863. But let's see what you guys have been saying online. Let's head over to our Facebook page, where Mersha says, "Good morning, Expresso fam. Yes, I've had a health scare, breast cancer, and I'm now eating more healthier, doing my 10,000 steps every day, and 17 years doing voluntary work for Reach for Recovery Breast Support. I love that. That's how you change that dynamic. And through all of this, I am now an 18-year breast cancer survivor. Congratulations, Mersha. I absolutely love that. And I wish it didn't take these terrible scares to bring us back onto the right track." We have Jocelyn weighing as well with a voice note. Let's hear from her.
A very good morning to my Expresso family and the panel. In 2017, I was very reluctant to take my high blood pressure tablets, and I never took off a aspirin that I was supposed to take every morning, which led to me having an aneurysm on my brain, and that really scared me. But by the grace of God, I had a brain operation, but I'm good and well now, and I'm taking my medication now. So please let us do the right thing. Thank you, Jocelyn. Have a Gardens. Bye.
Oh, thank you so much. So good to hear that you are on the right track. Maybe you at home are grappling with something right now. Maybe you've had one of those terrible health scares in your life that has been, like I said, that massive wake-up call. Send us a WhatsApp voice note. We'd love to hear from you this morning. It's all about health and wellness today. 063-408-8863. That's the WhatsApp line to use, or you can connect with us on any of our social media platforms. Now, it's Travel Week. This week, we're going to get you out into South Africa, and we've got some amazing deals. I'm talking 50% off. It's time to take a short left. We'll see you now.
Good morning, Nomasonto here. Can you hear me?
Yes, thank you.
Your generosity can ignite a love for reading amongst our youth. Share your homegrown story. See Cadbury Story Edition packs. There's a glass and a half in everyone.
It's my feel-good breakfast show.
Welcome back to your Feel Good Breakfast Show. Let's see if we can make it even more feel good this morning. You can see my smile cannot get any bigger today because I come bearing the best news possible. The great South African sale is finally here. We've been talking about it for weeks. It starts today. Short Left Travel Week will be offering discounts of up to 50% off local travel. That's half, guys. That's crazy. Making it so accessible for you to finally visit those places that you've always wanted to, dreamt of, that are right here in South Africa on our doorstep. And joining us this morning to help get our bags packed, literally, and destinations booked is Chief Operating Officer for South African Tourism, Nomasonto Ndlovu. Thank you so much for joining us. Thank you for bringing my luggage all fully packed. I'm ready to leave. Nomasonto, this is a fantastic time because we want to get out and explore. And I think after being caged up for the last few years, South Africans appreciate the outdoors, appreciate the bush, appreciate our beaches so much more. Why is domestic tourism so important? Why should we be focusing on our own backyard first?
Thanks, Graham. Thanks for having me, and good morning to Expresso viewers this morning. I'm so excited to be here early morning. It is important. There is pent-up demand. Everybody has been at home for the longest time. 2 years is a long time. And we want to get out there. But more than that, domestic tourism, during COVID, what we saw was that the world was not coming for us.
Yeah.
So we were left on our own. And we had to go around traveling within South Africa. So it's very important, one, for us to create the culture of travel, you know, by South Africans in South Africa. So we are using this domestic campaign to encourage locals to actually travel their country and know their country. Because we believe that once you know your country, when the foreigners come, you are able to be a better host.
Exactly.
And you can take them to those spots, you can show them around, you have the confidence of recommending spaces to go in South Africa.
This is almost twofold because there's an entrepreneurial thrust here as well. We've got this product. We've got one of the best products in the world when it comes to tourism.
Absolutely.
We're so good at marketing it to the rest of the world and selling it at a premium, yet we forget that we've got it here to appreciate ourselves. Traditionally, what has stood in the way of that culture of domestic travel? What have been the barriers to South Africans exploring their own backyard?
It's a couple of things, but mainly where we come from as a country. You know, we're not going to go there. But as South Africans, it hasn't been a thing for the rest of the South Africans to travel. So it is a new thing in that particular way. But also there are barriers where the perception has been it's expensive to travel. And we are saying with this domestic campaign, no, it's not. Because travel is not about going overseas and packing 20 bags and having all the money. You can start travel by going around your backyard, experiencing that hiking route and going for that picnic, a night at a B&B around the corner. So we're trying to simplify the concept of travel to say, let it be a behavior that we are used to, not something that we see as foreign, as something for other people and not for the rest of the South Africans.
Exactly. A change is as good as a holiday. All you need is just one shift, one night in a different reality can make all of the difference. This being said, how can South Africans access these deals? What do we do?
So, Graham, the important thing you've said, this is the biggest sale ever.
That's massive.
So we've got our Short Left platform, which is shortleft.co.za. We urge you and everybody else and your go-go's, everybody, to go on this platform, on your phone, on your computer, click and book. And you book now, but you can travel anytime.
I love that. So December can be sorted now.
Sort out your December now, because summer is here. It's a bit delayed in Cape Town, as always, but where I come from in Johannesburg, it's already summer. So summer is here, spring is here. We're encouraging everybody to go and book their holidays now. And our trade partners have been fantastic in really loading these deals and making these available. And Graham, the whole thing is about we're making travel affordable to South Africans. Petrol prices high, it's so difficult, everything. So we're taking out the gloom out of this period. We're saying, here are the happy news. What a better way to start spring with these deals.
I absolutely love it. And there are some amazing deals out there. Just check out the prices of an international plane ticket right now if you want incentive to keep it here in South Africa. But you would be amazed at that hidden gem that could be just around the corner. So here's the thing, shortleft.co.za, that's where you've got to start your journey up until the 11th of September. These deals are going to be running, and you can capitalize now and enjoy later in the year. That's so important to remember. Some amazing deals, and like I said, up to 50% off. And that could be the holiday that you don't just need, that you deserve right now.
Absolutely.
We love this opportunity to explore more of South Africa. One of the great gifts I've been given through this show is an opportunity to see how beautiful this country is. And it might be just in your own backyard. So go shortleft.co.za. That's where your journey begins.
Absolutely.
Well, it's time for us to take another look at your national headlines. The High Court in Pretoria has dismissed with contempt attempts to delay the Life Isidimeni inquest into the death of some 144 patients in June 2016. The former Gauteng mental health director, Dr. Makgabo Manomela, has been compelled to testify despite arguing that she wanted a postponement. The court argued that if it could not be in the interest of justice to grant it, Judge Manoa Tefo made the ruling. Manamela is expected to tell the court who exactly granted the order to relocate over 2,000 mentally ill patients from Life Isidimeni facilities. And staying with local news, significant reductions in the fuel price have been announced. Petrol will drop R2.04 per litre at midnight tonight, and diesel will go down by 56 cents per litre. The price of paraffin will cost R1.09 less, and the price of gas will drop by R1.65 per kilogram. Motorists on the coast will pay R22.73 for a litre of 95 octane fuel. It will cost people in Gauteng R23 per litre. Moving to news abroad, Liz Truss have been named the new leader of the Conservative Party and Britain's new Prime Minister after defeating Rishi Sunak in the Tory leadership contest. She is the third woman to hold this position after Margaret Thatcher and Theresa May. Truss takes over from the reins of Boris Johnson. Truss says her biggest challenge is tackling the country's energy crisis after Russia suspended its gas supply to Europe. Another challenge, she says, is the country's extremely high inflation rate due to power crisis. And Kenya's Supreme Court yesterday upheld the August 9 election of William Ruto as president in a unanimous decision, Chief Justice Martha Koome said, throwing out a petition brought by opposition leader Raila Odinga. Ruto, 55 rather, has been serving as outgoing President Uhuru Kenyatta's deputy since 2013, takes the helm of a Western Ally in an unstable region. It hosts the regional headquarters of many global companies and organizations. Now, what do you get when you combine Dolly Parton and dogs? Well, you get the music star's new clothing and accessory line for pets. The superstar singer and actress author has announced the launch of Doggy Parton, a line of dog apparel and accessories. The line will feature shirts, dresses, squeaky toys, and even a blonde wig inspired by Parton. Now, Puppy Love was my very first record, and 6 decades later, my love for pets is stronger than ever. This inspired me to start my own line of Doggy Parton apparel, accessories, toys and more with a little Dolly flair. That's according to Dolly Parton. Now, part of the proceeds will support Willoughby Farms, a rescue organization where animals in need find never-ending love. And Don't we all need that? Well, on that very happy note, that's where I leave your morning headlines for now.
Thank you so much. Let's start with footballing news. Not the best from a South African perspective. Copa America winners Brazil were once again way too strong for African Women's Africa Cup of Nations champions Banyana as they ran out 6-0 winners in their friendly in Durban yesterday. So fresh off that 3-0 win in the first clash on Friday, Brazil proved again a cut above their African opponents. Deborah de Oliveira, she scored twice for the visitors as the South Americans netted 4 second-half goals to take the game well away from the hosts. Desiree Ellis's Chargers, they're going to have to improve drastically if they want to compete at that level at the 2023 World Cup. But this is how you learn. And staying with footballing news, something to get excited about tonight. The Champions League returns with a host of fixtures to look out for. Defending champions Real Madrid, they're away to Celtic, with the Scottish side making a first appearance in the group stage for 4 years. Then Chelsea, they're away to Dynamo Zagreb, looking to kickstart their stuttering season. While Man City and Erling Haaland, they'll come up against Sevilla. Now, Haaland has netted 10 goals in 6 Premier League games for City so far, and to 27 in 25 Champions League matches. So expect him to get on the score sheet tonight, I think. But the standout clash has to be PSG up against Juventus. Now, talk about a hoodoo side. PSG have never beaten Juventus in 8 previous Champions League meetings, losing their last 6 on the trot. Then on to local cricketing news. The Joburg Super Kings have announced former Proteas all-rounder Albie Morkel as their assistant coach. The Super Kings will be captained by Faf du Plessis, with former New Zealand captain Stephen Fleming in the head coach position. Wow, then Morkel played 58 ODIs for the Proteas, scoring some 782 runs at an average of 23.69. In the T20 format, he represented South Africa on 50 occasions, scoring 572 runs and a very impressive strike rate of 142.28, and also took 26 wickets. Then on to tennis. Australia's Nick Kyrgios sent defending champion Daniil Medvedev tumbling out of the US Open. The 23rd seeded Kyrgios produced some scintillating shot making on his way to a superb 6-3, 6-3, 6-3, 6-2 win over the world number 1 from Russia. And there were no such problems for Andrei Rublev and Casper Ruud, who also both advanced to the quarterfinals. Then in the women's draw, rising American star Coco Gauff, she kept home hopes alive with a battling 7-5, 7-5 win over China's Zhang Shuai. The 18-year-old 12th seed will now play France's very much informed Caroline Garcia for a place in the semi-finals. Then Alya Tomljanovic, she followed up her victory over Serena Williams after another battling display to reach the quarterfinals as well. Well, that's where we leave our sport for now. I would imagine the roads are starting to wake up. Let's bring you the latest on the traffic front with Raul.
Thank you so much, G-Man. Yes, of course, here to serve once again, and I know a lot of you are heading out on the road, so heed our warning as we try to assist you as you make your way on your journey. Now, first up, if you're in Cape Town, Jakes Gerwel Drive, there is congestion on the N2 inbound at Jakes Gerwel Drive. You can, of course, expect delays on your route. For those traveling through the Centurion area, Johannesburg, there is roadworks on the N1 southbound after Flying Saucer interchange. Now, both left lanes are closed, so again, please make sure to add extra travel time on your journey this morning. Now, lastly, for those out in the Reservoir Hills, KZN, there is a service delivery protest this morning at the bottom of Mount Batten Drive. Again, please make sure to use alternative routes this morning, and for anybody heading out on the roads, please buckle up, stay safe, and do plan accordingly. For now, though, we're heading from the roads up to the sky to see what's the latest when it comes to weather. Yes, now in the latest of weather news, some disturbing news indeed. Now this morning we bring you news of a 6.6 magnitude earthquake that has hit southwestern China, killing at least 46 people. Now the quake struck in the Sichuan province at a depth of 10 kilometers, and the impact severed telecommunication lines and triggered mountain landslides that caused serious damage. Now this as some 21 million people in Sichuan's capital, Chengdu, Chengdu were last week ordered to stay home because of COVID rules. Now, tremors shook buildings in Chengdu and people ran out of their high-rise apartments in a panic after receiving earthquake alerts on their phones. Now, a quote coming through saying there were many people who were so terrified they started crying. Now, Laura Liu, an international PR consultant, also had the following to say, and quoted, "When the shaking began, all the dogs started barking. It was really very scary," unquote. Now, on Friday, Chengdu became the latest city to also be on the lockdown by Chinese authorities, and this also in an attempt to stem the rise in COVID cases. Well, from earthquake news, we definitely try and lift the mood, and we're going to head over to take a look at those sunrise views. Now, first up for 7 a.m. is Ivina Barons, who shared this early morning shot from outside her home as the sky starts to light up with deep purple hues all out in Uitenhage, and I absolutely love it. It looks like somewhat of a pastel painting in the sky. Beautiful stuff indeed. One of our regulars coming through with this one, Emil Jones, snapping a glow of the sun as he starts his morning with a run overlooking the lake at Buccleuch, in Johannesburg, and I love the artistic silhouetting of the fence there as he does his run, and well done on the run too, looking after yourself. I love it. Next up, we've got Brad Bennett from Umkomazi, who sent in this gorgeous photo of the sun rising over the ocean as he starts his morning as usual with another morning stroll on the beach. Feeding the soul, I love it, and feeding us with this beautiful image. Thank you so much. I love it. Finally, though, we have John from Ruraport who showcased this radiant orange hue, waking him up on this chilly morning as he heads out to work. Well, Mzansi, you guys have an exceptional journey in the morning, and I'm here for it. I absolutely love what you're doing, and I love the pictures you're sending in, so please do come through on our WhatsApp line. That's 063-408-8863, because we would absolutely love to see how you wake up wherever you are in the beauty of Mzansi. For now, though, let's take a look at the temperatures across the country. Let's start off at Polokwane. The day starting at a low of 10 up to a high of 26 degrees. Mbombela sees a little bit of rain, 13 up to 21. Pretoria, 11 up to 28. And Johannesburg, 9 is your low up to a high of 26 degrees. Let's move over to Mahikeng now, where the day starts at a low of 12 up to 31 degrees. A nice scorcher on your side of town. Klerksdorp bringing the heat, 8 is your low, but all the way up to 29 degrees. Sunny skies all the way around. Kimberley, a low of 6 up to a nice moderate 24, and Bloemfontein starting at a super chilly 2 degrees, but don't worry, the sun comes through with a nice warm temperature of 25 degrees. Let's move over to the bay on Richards Bay now. The day starting at a low of 14 up to a nice moderate 21 degrees. Pietermaritzburg, however, you can expect quite a bit of rain coming through. 9 is your low up to a high of 20. Durban sees the day starting at 16 up to 21 with some rain coming through. And Mthatha, not too much rain, a low of 6 up to a high of 21 degrees. Further on the coast now, let's move over to East London, where the day starts at a low of 10 up to a high of 20 degrees. Cradock, a chillier start of 3 up to 21. GQ Berga starts the day at 9 up to a high of 18 degrees. And George, 8 is your low up to a moderate 16 degrees Celsius. Moving over to the mother city now, recovering from a cold front. Still a little bit of a chillier condition. 8 is your low up to a high of 16 degrees. Worcester sees the day starting at 6 up to 19. Sutherland, chilly start of 3 up to 17. And Uppington, another chilly start of 5 degrees, but you move up to a nice warm 25 degrees Celsius. Fun in the sun for you, of course. If you are playing in it, make sure you put on the sunscreen and enjoy it. Maybe put on a hat too. But again, Mzansi, thank you so much for sending those incredible pictures in. Absolutely love it. You lift up our mood, and let's carry on with lifting up our mood and find out what you chose for me to wear today.
Yeah, man, forget the sunscreen. Let's just put on some clothes, Raul. Okay, let's just get you dressed for this morning. So a little bit earlier, Raul, of course, I asked you to help him choose between some beautiful suits here. We've got a contemporary linen suit and then a very sophisticated navy kind of check suit. Both beautiful, both screaming for the new season. Let's find out which look you voted for. So thank you so much for getting stuck in. Let's go to our socials and see Elaine van der Merwe. The linen one looks good. We see lots of navy suits daily. Okay, something slightly different is what she wants. Saying the linen suit with the Levy shirt, styled by Woolies. Nice. I like that, actually, that print on the shirt there as well. Rita Lynn, definitely number 2. Okay, so we split so far. Natasha Miller, definitely the blue. Mersha saying, and you've been busy today, Mersha, we love it. Number 1, linen suit will look great on Raul. Thanks for that. It would seem that after a very hotly contested competition, number 1 is the winner. It's our beautiful linen suit. It's got a beautiful texture and pattern, and of course, it all comes to life with that gorgeous shirt. Ryle, get in here and come and select your winning
Who is
suit,
the winner?
buddy. So they both were very well represented, but the linen suit took it, my friend.
Mzansi, thank you. You get me. I knew you were going to choose this one. I absolutely love it. I think it's just so fitting for today, especially. It's got that kind of like Miami Vice feel. You know what I mean, G?
For sure. There's power. There's something suave about it. It's not too over the top. I think it's ideal, and it screams spring, time to change the season. I love it, buddy. All right, you can go and get dressed, my friend.
Thank you.
Congratulations. You guys at home are absolutely amazing. Thank you so much. Your style is impeccable. Make a statement this spring. Put it all out there. We love it, and you can find some amazing woolly suits online. You can shop them in store, online, or on their amazing app, and you'll also get some inspiration on some of the looks to take you into the new season. Go and check it out. Beautiful.
Nourish your skin with Ingrams Moisture Plus, enriched with triple glycerine. For 48-hour intensive moisture. New look Ingrams. Your skin, your brave.
Can I just get you to test the microphone again?
Hello, hello, hello. Namasonto, Namasonto. Can you hear me?
Okay, could you ask you just to shift like that from the see this main direction?
Okay. Yeah, yeah.
Is it a railing?
Yeah, yeah. Namasonto. Is that okay? Everything okay? Testing, testing. Thank you.
It's my feel-good breakfast show.
Welcome back as we get prepared to go and explore the wonders of our own backyard. It's Travel Tuesday, and if you haven't booked your holiday yet, what are you waiting for? This is the week to do it. Short Left Travel Week is here, and you can get discounts of up to 50% on your next local holiday. And I'm not talking about only right now. You can plan for the rest of the year. Now is the chance to do it. And to get you ready for that next trip is Chief Operating Officer for South African Tourism, Nomasonto Ndlovu. She's back to share some of her best travel tips, because there are some life hacks, okay,
Yes,
when it comes to traveling. We want to do it as simply as possible.
Yes.
I always pack 5 times as much as I need. I struggle. I don't know what it is. Whenever I pack, I'll honestly...
You're not alone.
And I'll wear the same 3 shirts, and my beautiful wife always teases me. She's like, oh, you're the great t-shirt. Why do you even bother taking anything else? How you pack your suitcase and when you do it actually are quite revealing. Yes. What is your strategy when you travel? Because presumably you travel quite a lot.
Yes, I travel quite a lot, and I'm not as good in packing as some people are out there. I mean, my mother takes a week to pack. Like when she leaves Durban to come and see me in Joburg, she'll take a week to pack. But
And she's only staying for 2 nights.
Exactly. So I'm the person who will pack 2 hours before I leave.
Really?
I can do that. I can pack a night before because my schedule is quite tight. I always have to shift between suitcases depending on the purpose of the travel. So I think the trick is to sort of know the things that you like and to know that what are the must-haves.
Yeah.
So I'm a runner, so my suitcase, in the base, there's always some running kit.
Always
it must
start with
be
that.
there.
I like
Start
that.
with a running kit. So if that is there, anything else I can leave at home. So
You can deal
that's
with.
important.
Okay.
But also, I'm a mother of boys. and 10 and 14 in terms of ages. So I always must make sure that there's swimming stuff for them, because they're going to say, Mommy, where's the swimming pool? They want to go and swim. So I must make sure that there's some shorts for them. Even if they forget in their suitcase, I must drop it in my suitcase. I'm not in trouble.
Because there's always a plan
yes,
B.
But otherwise, I must land and go and shop. So, and it happened to me today. I had to drop in at Woolworths to pick up something. You know, so, and then now it's summer, so you're not gonna be, if you're a lady, a good summer dress is like a flowy, nice little dress is very important.
Something you can dress up or down like that.
Yes, but a summer hat with our sun. I mean, I saw the weather now. I mean, the sun is coming up. So a nice summer hat is always important, as is the sunscreen. Because we're not going to hit the sun and we can't, have the sunscreen.
So you looked after, you're looking fantastic, the family is sorted. I love that. So now where are we going? What does a road trip look like for you? If you could just take a shot left right now, where would that be?
Well, because I live in Joburg, my typical road trip is always to Limpopo because it's far closer.
Yeah.
So I can drive for 2 hours. I'm in Waterberg.
You're in a different world.
Of the outdoors. Like I said, because I'm a mom, I'm always looking for the outdoors. I'm always looking for that open spaces where I can run, and get in touch with nature. So I will typically go to any place around Johannesburg that takes me about 2 hours, maybe 3 hours at the most. So because of Gauteng, I'm easily in Limpopo very quickly. But here in the Western Cape, I like driving along the beach.
Yeah.
So I was lucky recently where I went to the Cape Agalas.
Wow.
My goodness.
It's raw, it's beautiful, hey?
So just I'm from Durban, so water for me is everything. So I love driving along the beach. I love looking at the waves and stopping and dipping my feet. So I love that you have got some flip-flops because I always have flip-flops for any eventuality that I'm going to end up in the water. So that's very, very critical. So I love driving along the beach. And in any road trip, it's not enough unless you have the playlist.
Yeah, oh, for sure. If there was one song that gets you in the mood?
Shucks. The song that really gets me in the mood these days is a Lyra song, which is about being happy and feeling good. It's called Feel Good.
I love that.
Song, if you get me that song, I can drive you.
I love that. Keep your flops out. I'm going to play the song. We are hitting the beach this weekend. I absolutely love it. And you've actually just hit the nail on the head there. Go for a run. I do this whenever I travel anywhere, especially if you've only got a couple of days somewhere. Run first. You suddenly become a local. You see it from a different perspective. I understand why you are the right person to talk to about tourism in this country, because I don't think there are people out there that appreciate it as much as you do.
But Graham, let me tell you something that you didn't know. I'm a golfer.
Really?
But now golf travel, you have to plan it, because nothing is as horrible as getting to a destination and you don't have your golf clubs.
Exactly.
So I always have to think, is there a possibility of a 9-hole? And if it is, I must make sure that I've got my kit, my golf shoes, my golf shirt, because otherwise to go and rent it out.
Yeah, no, you want to feel good, you want to look good.
You want to feel good, but your golf won't feel good if you don't have your kit.
and trust me, even 9 holes, if it doesn't go well, the holiday is ruined, okay? So don't waste those 3 days. I absolutely love it. Oh, thank you so much for joining us. Your enthusiasm in the space is infectious, but I can understand why you guys are so passionate, because we live in the most beautiful country on earth.
Yes.
There is a reason why the world comes here. So why don't you go out there and experience it yourself? Dust off that beautiful suitcase. You're going on holiday, baby, and with discounts of up to 50%, there is absolutely no excuse not to book right now. So please, as I said, visit shotleft.co.za today. In fact, right now, browse some incredible deals that are on offer, and you've got up until the 11th of September to book. And remember, you can book now, but travel later. So after all, it is your country, so enjoy it, because nothing is more fun than a short left. We love you. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Graham. Thank you for having me.
Oh, yes, absolutely inspired now after hearing that conversation. And as you can see, I've gotten all dressed up and I've got the beautiful, ever-glowing Sadika Fakir over here. How are you doing this morning?
Very good, thank you. I'm awake.
You're awake. Well, always when you come on the show, that's like the first challenge, to wake up early in the morning, right? But I must just say, I'm seeing all these incredible flavors out here. You've traveled the world. Have you been inspired by these ingredients that you're putting in it today?
The world. I'm always drawn to the East. I guess it's my Indian heritage, so always drawn to India or Dubai or Asia as a whole. So this whole dish is inspired because we're doing an Indian high tea by India, of course. But then it came down to South Africa with the great trek and the great ship ride. We brought these snacks in from India. But
and I think South Africans are absolutely grateful for that because it's been infused in so many of the flavors that we have. And for you, Mzansi, we are talking about something special right now, and we're also incorporating Golden Cloud, which we'll talk about in just a bit. But right now we are preparing bhaja, and I hope I'm pronouncing that correctly. It's served with masala chai. Bhajias are bite-sized vegetables coated in Indian spice flour and deep fried to perfection. I mean, how good does that sound? Now, whether you're planning a bridal high tea or upcoming Diwali celebrations, or just getting the girls around for a catch-up on the latest tea and gossip, then these Golden Cloud spinach chili bites are absolutely perfect. Now, Sadika is here to talk to us through how to make this popular Indian street food, and I am absolutely here for it. I see beautiful ingredients. Take me to India.
Let's go. Chalo, let's go to India. Chalo means come on, let's go.
I thought there was another ingredient.
So in an Indian kitchen, you multitask. So you're going to grind up our spices for the masala. When we're talking masala chai, it's basically an array. Masala means a mixture of spices. And again, let's reiterate, it is not chai tea. That means tea, like a round circle.
So that's like, compared to this,
this is masala chai. Hashtag masala chai. Hashtag just chai.
I love
so you're going to get grinding, but I'm going to multitask because...
Can I ask you, though, just before I do get grinding, because I know a lot of people watching right now are definitely going to want to try this. What am I grinding up here?
Recipe is on the website, but you're going to be grinding up cinnamon, you're going to be grinding up some ginger, nutmeg, clove, fennel, cardamom, white pepper and black pepper, and that adds heat.
How did you remember all that?
It's the family recipe.
In the blood.
In the blood. It's in the blood. And Indian aunties don't really always share their tea masala recipe. I have been
so we are honoured here.
We are sharing the fakir recipe.
Thank you.
Let's go for it.
Let me
so you're going to grind.
Further. You've got some work to do on that side. I'll get grinding.
And on the tea, we're using 2 loose tea leaves, and you can just check the colour here. But you can absolutely use tea bags if you need. But I just find that loose tea leaves make it more authentic to India. Then the tea masala that you are grinding, I'm putting a tablespoon. You can control the heat. You're going to plop that in, and we're adding some fresh ginger into the brew. Now, you've got to let that brew whilst we get that. You've got to let the ginger brew. Before you add in any dairy, otherwise you'll get cottage cheese. Now,
you don't want that.
No, and then you're going to grind away there. And then I'm going to get started on our chili bites. So we've got chickpea flour, which is ground chickpeas.
Nice.
And it's also called besan.
And that's a beautiful addition for protein as well, especially if you're wanting a meat-free alternative, which I absolutely love. So everything here is screaming not only beautiful flavor, not only like warmth in the spices, but we're ticking the boxes when it comes to health as well, right?
We're taking, well, deep fried. But
apart from the deep fried, the ingredients themselves are good.
That's it. And you know, it's just to shout out to Golden Cloud and how versatile the product is, that it can be used whether you're cooking Indian, whether you're cooking any culture. It's literally, you cannot fail with Golden Cloud with these soft bhajias or chili bites.
Even me.
You're gonna be behind these bhajias.
All right, okay.
So we've got the flour in there, and then we're going to add in our fresh ingredients. So I'm just gonna plop in some onion. Onion adds to the moisture, and you can opt to keep the spinach in or out, but the spinach also adds to the moisture.
Please bring the spinach because Popeye wants some popping. You know what I mean? Of course.
You are giving us a pass, even though this is deep fried. We are getting away. It's healthy because it has spinach.
We're definitely earning it, and of course we've got a workout coming through later on the show. So
there we go.
It's all working out.
You're earning your breakfast.
Yes, we're earning the good stuff.
Green chili, and again you can control your spice, and then some chili powder, and you can opt to. We already had it in here, baking powder, or you can use the self-raising flour from Golden Cloud. So 2 teaspoons.
Can I just just drawing back to this, as I'm kind of crushing this up, oh my goodness, the flavors,
Yes.
the smells, the sensations. It's like I first got this warmth, then I'm getting this freshness. It's like a beautiful,
It's beautiful.
balance.
That's it.
I'm
And
done
then
with chai. I'm all about masala chai now.
You are all masala chai.
I'm done with that.
So I'll get back here to brew.
Okay.
And we're just literally now ready to add in our milk. Don't judge me. There's evaporated milk in this as well.
Why would we judge you on that? Is that not authentic? Or
It's extra fat, and then, okay, even further judging, condensed milk.
Oh, it's okay. Remember, we're working out. We're earning this. We're earning
are
this. And
earning this.
Of course, at the same time, I think we've definitely
Look,
been
there's
through
no
a lot.
calorie deficit for you today.
But I
You'll
mean, there's
be-
nothing wrong with treating ourselves, especially
No,
when
nothing
I'm,
at all.
I'm assuring, knowing that it's going to taste this good because the flavors I'm getting already from this is
That's it. And you can already start smelling it on
Oh,
the heat
yeah.
because heat really invokes spice.
Yes, it does.
So you're going to let that brew whilst
Okay.
we get this. Can we get some? So we can start with the green chutney.
Okay.
It is as easy as get your mint, your
Yeah.
coriander in there.
Okay, mint first up.
Yeah, just
We got
plop
coriander in
everything.
there.
Roasted nuts, chili, garlic, and you can add some ginger as well,
The
and
amount
sugar,
of flavors in this, I'm
and
telling you,
lemon juice,
incredible.
and literally gooi and blitz.
Gooi and blitz at your
And
service.
there you
We're gonna
have
do exactly that.
There you have a handcrafted green chutney.
All right, well, I put this
And you're gonna
magic
add the water
together,
in
and
there.
Sadika and I have absolutely so much fun in the kitchen, and this is
That's
what I
it.
love about it. It's an experience. It's not
That's
just
it.
about eating. I want to talk to you about something special right now because Golden Cloud has a new and exciting competition with a weekly celebration of spring high tea. Now, 5 lucky viewers stand a chance to win 10,000 Rand. And that's from Golden Cloud and a Kenwood appliance, so you can bake with the best. All right, now simply create a bake using Golden Cloud products and share your photo of your bake on the competition post on the Expresso Facebook or Twitter page. And of course, you can come through on our WhatsApp line. It's 0638142300, all right? And what you got to do is just tell us what makes your high tea creation best. Now, make sure, of course, to include your pictures and Golden Cloud product, and don't forget to use the hashtag high tea with Golden Cloud. Now, of course, the entries close on the 28th of September. T's and C's can be found on expressoshow.com. And I mean, come on, what are you waiting for? 10,000 Rand? As simple as that. And you can have so much fun while doing it. I mean, look at us here in the kitchen. For now, though, we're going to finish the recipe. If you want more of it, head over to expressoshow.com and enjoy the masala infusions, all the spice, the warmth, and it'll lift up the heart and send you away into Wonderland.
Only you can make my day. It's my feel-good breakfast show.
Now, of course, we've been very excited about this one on set. The Sanlam Cape Town Marathon is taking place on the 16th of October, and we are getting ready. Well, some of us more than others, and we hope you are too. Commercial Director at Woolworths Foods, Chan Pillay, is here to chat to us about the Woolies partnership with the marathon. Of course, they are there to support our runners, and of course, our Zoe is one of those runners. Very excited. Chan, so good to have you here. This is such a massive highlight on the Running Canada, but we've discovered such a massive thing for Cape Town and South Africa. So thank you so much for being a part. We really do love having you here and Woolie's involvement.
Thank you very much, and thank you for the invite. It's special to be here today. Yeah, I mean, it's just an incredible partnership. We've been with Sanlam for 4 years, and this year is more special than ever, considering that in 2020 the event was held virtually. And last year, with the effects of COVID-19, there were really strict regulations in place. So it was really difficult for athletes to participate. And it's not a format, I think, recurring runners or athletes are actually kind of used to. What makes this year even more special is the fact that the Sanlam Cape Town Marathon has been confirmed as a Abbott World Major Marathon candidate, which is truly incredible for Africa. It's a really special moment, and we're delighted to be part of it. You know, it's a really big event in the sporting world. And from a Cape Town perspective, it really affords a massive economic growth opportunity.
Yeah, that secondary spend is huge. Yeah.
Incredible. Now, I have taken it upon myself to enter the Cape Town Marathon. I've never ever in my entire life done one, but it's all part of the preparations, and you know, I'm counting down the weeks, and I'm pretty sure the team at Woolworths is also counting down the weeks.
Yeah,
everyone is. As a runner, what can we expect from Woolworths and the Cape Town Marathon?
So I think on race registration day, I think firstly at the expo on the day, there we will have our famous coffee cart present. And then in their goodie bags on the day, you know, we'll be part of the sponsorship where we'll be giving away 15,000 snack bars. You've got Go Active items. You've got Ayrshire flavored chocolate milk, high protein. So I think that's all part of what, you know, one will get as part of the registration process. But the brand will be present, and, you know, we're partnering with Sanlam on this day. So it's a really big moment for us.
We love these high points. This has given a lot of runners out there something to build towards. It's great in theory. It's a different story on race day when you've got to get through the grueling hard yards. Food makes a massive difference in my own experience. How are you guys going to be supporting the runners in that community on race day?
Yeah, so I mean, I think race day is an incredibly important part of the event because it's where runners really need to make sure hydration and nutrition is #1 priority. We'll have a number of refueling stations for runners on the day. They can stop in, make sure they get, you know, good quality food and beverage to being able to refuel. On the Saturday, I think they'll, you know, at Kirstenbosch, there'll be a fueling station. On Sunday, there'll be one at the halfway mark. And most importantly, when you finish the race, you know, one looks forward to a place to relax, and that's where the W Zone comes into play.
I love that, because that's the journey I'm on now. Not only getting fit to be able to run, but also to train your stomach to be able to process and get used to fueling yourself during and even before and after the race. Now, for runners like myself and anyone embarking on that journey of nutrition, where can they get more information?
So I think firstly, I mean, I think the point you make, Zoe, is making sure you get the right nutritional information is important. Particularly if you, like yourself, setting yourself a target for the big one. We have access on our Woolworths website, woolworths.co.za, where you can get information, nutritional information and rehydration information for pre, post and during the race.
I have a feeling this partnership works so well because it's not just nutrition. There is something else at play here. What does this partnership mean to you as an organization? Why is this so important?
Yeah, it's such an important point you make, because for us it comes down to our people, their families and our customers. And I think all of them really try hard to lead healthy, active lifestyles. And it's difficult.
Yeah.
It's been made even more difficult, I think, on one's mind and body based on what the COVID-19 pandemic has brought about, on one's physical and mental stress. So the fact that, I think we are now emerging out of this pandemic and really in a space that we are able to take part in an event so special as this one. It affords an opportunity to really start to try and live a healthy and active lifestyle, #1. And #2, it really brings people together.
Yeah.
And that's the journey about our brand and both the Sanlam, Cape Town, as well as Woolworths. It's about bringing people and communities together and enjoying something special as running. It's a simple event, but really it's that
it's that day that brings people together and really makes it exciting.
And it really is a community. I have to say, being on the road myself, running, you see other runners and we just give each other that look of, okay, we're in this together, let's push through.
Exactly.
And it's wonderful to know that we have big brands like Woolworths backing us all the way, every step of the way. I'm looking forward to that hydration stations and the refueling stations on race day. But Shan, thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you very much. It's been a pleasure.
As a spectator, it's the coffee that I'm looking forward to the most. Thank you so much. We love partnerships like these. And whether you're planning to do your first 5K or you're a seasoned marathon runner, the Sanlam Cape Town Marathon is going to be fun for everybody. You can, of course, go straight to the website now because entries are open. It's capetownmarathon.com. Simple as that. And this is a race you are not going to want to miss because Zoe's going to be there.
And you.
Oh, I'm very impressed indeed, and it's an absolutely awesome event, and I know that Zoe is going to be participating in that, so I thought, let me put something special together for her, just to kind of assist her on her journey as she takes on this big challenge. Zoe, I think she's just about ready. I'm going to ask her to come in here so we can chat about this event, and while she does that, I'm going to talk to you also about a little nifty piece of equipment that I think everybody can do with, and it's just a basic band like this. It's something that I use so constantly on my travels, whenever I'm going to a hotel, and there's so much you can do with this, and I think this is something that Zoe's going to absolutely appreciate. So let's bring her in here, the new marathon runner. Oh, well, thank you very much. We're definitely going to need this a little bit later.
Fantastic.
I'll pop that in the middle. Actually, let me get a sip of it now, just before we get into this, because I'm going to need some energy.
Now, Raul, I think today marks 40 days until the Cape Town Marathon, which is major. And if I look back at the journey that I've done so far and how much I still have to do, it now all feels doable. In the beginning, it was extremely intimidating. To be able to run 18 kilometers by myself was intimidating. But this past weekend, I just did 28, and this coming weekend, I have to do 32.
Oh, that is incredible.
So it's baby steps, and each of these tiny workouts that we've been doing has all been part, as our coach say, part of the bigger puzzle.
Yes, and that's exactly what we're going to focus on now, the smaller pieces of the puzzle that put it all together, right? So you've been doing some good mileage, so we don't really need to work on the fitness elements. What I'm going to work on are the stabilizers and the small muscles that kind of keep us strong and stable. So we're going to kind of essentially work on the pelvic girdle, keeps us upright. What I've got here are these bands, which I said again are so convenient. We're going to start off with a beautiful warm-up exercise. This involves balance in coordination, but also a little bit of mobility. So firstly, we're going to start with the bands in our hand, right? So just kind of pulling it apart, not too hard. Now the balance comes in where we're going to lift our leg up at 90 degrees in front of us. Nice and easy. You want to dorsiflex that toe, Zoe. So lift the toes up. That's going to work the tib ant over here in the front. And then essentially from this position, you're going to push the leg back, go into a diver, trying to create a flat stance all the way from the hand to the leg. Beautiful stuff. Can you feel that stabilizers coming into play? I'm almost falling over here. And then essentially from there, you bring the leg back up. Nice, good control, beautiful form, and then straight back into a curtsy. So the curtsy is bringing that leg back around, nice and low, beautiful form. You can touch the ground once you get your range, get the knee to go to the ground, and then straight back up. Beautiful stuff. Again, you'd repeat this on the other leg, and you'd go for about 30 seconds to a minute of this. Nice and slow, good control, good form. How's that feel?
These are slow movements. I actually realized the other day, because I've been focusing so much predominantly on running and putting time on the road, I haven't really been focusing on my gym workout, the smallest things, and I realized that all of this is so important.
Exactly that. It all comes together and adds for just a more efficient race, and a race that you can enjoy without struggling through, and that's what I'm hoping for you, all right? So that was exercise number one. It's a great way to warm up, but also get the mobility and the strength. Now we're going to get more practical with the bands, right? So you're going to go on your knees, but firstly put the band in between your legs so it's basically situated just above the knee on both legs, all right? So I'm going to pop into it like this. Sorry about that. And then onto our knees into somewhat, here we go. Feels a little bit tight. What you're going to do now is rest your hands just below the shoulders, and essentially this is called a fire hydrant. For lack of a better term, it's like the weeing dog. So essentially you're going to take your left leg, keep keep this position, keep your core engaged, and essentially lift and raise that leg out to the side. Beautiful stuff. Hold it for 1 second, an isometric hold, and then slowly bring it back. The reason why we're bringing it back slowly is the eccentric load, and that really works that glute med. That's the one that gets the glute firing. That's the one that gets you nice and stable, and again, also gives you the support so you can use more muscles in your run to create more efficiency. Once you're kind of done with about 8 to 10 on each side, you want to repeat on the other side, which is a fantastic workout. Straight from this, you want to go into your standing position in a squatted stance, keeping the bands above the knees, and essentially you're going to take 2 steps to the right, 2 steps to the left, almost like a crab walk, keeping nice and low, 2, and then to the left, 1, 2, and you repeat this for another 30 seconds to a minute, and I'm telling you, you're going to feel the burn. The glutes are going to, the burn is going to get you. The glutes are going to fire up. But these are just 3 epic exercises that you can do for stability, for hip control, and of course, foundational strength. And I think if you incorporate these small movements into your training, you're going to absolutely smash this weekend.
Well, 40 days to go, Raul. I appreciate it. To everyone busy training for a marathon or getting themselves ready for a big race, all the best of luck. There's going to be tough runs. There will be there'll be runs where you feel good, but it's the tough ones you need to push through.
You got this, girl.
Yeah.
You got this. I'm backing you. Cheers, Mzansi. Hope you enjoyed that.
It's my feel-good breakfast show.
It's a brand new week, which means a new episode of Ingrams Skin Sessions, a thought-provoking campaign that encourages brave conversations which are more than skin deep. And today, we're unpacking the topic of body positivity, loving your body and embracing its flaws, no matter what your shape or size.
And many people are going under the knife, and photo editing and filters on social media are becoming even more prevalent. Now, we're even being bombarded by the media and some brands with unrealistic beauty standards. Is anyone ever completely happy in their bodies and the skin they are in? When someone chooses to fix something they aren't happy with about themselves, is that still being body positive, or is genuine body positivity accepting the body you're born in? Now, this morning we are joined by South African political analyst, journalist and broadcaster Eusebius Mekaiser, as well as fashion model, LGBTQIA+ activist, and South Africa's first transgender Miss South Africa contestant, Leslie Gonolo Machaba, as we delve into this topic a little further. Good morning and welcome back.
Good to see you. I get so excited when I see you guys because I know that we're going to get into the meat of this. It's going to be an interesting one. And we've been talking about very big things, but these big topics all seem to kind of come down to the person. And ultimately, this is all about how we view ourselves, what we're saying to ourselves every day, because those messages do matter. And it gets really interesting when we talk about body positivity. I think we might be talking about fat shaming or size. Yes, that's one element. But in a country like South Africa, I think this starts to encapsulate a whole lot more. Gender, sexuality, race, everything plays a factor here. So I'm gonna get you to open your account and ask you, how is this relationship going here? How do you feel about your own body? What is the relationship you share with your body? Are you body positive?
My relationship with my own body is complicated. I mean, you can see it just from the way I'm dressed. When we're getting ready to come on set, the crew member was asking me, are you going to tuck your shirt in? I was like, hell no. You know, because then the macabre is going to be like broadcast nationally. So my shirt is hanging loose. I've chosen black. I also had a sneak look to see how I'm coming across on the video. And that tells you that despite going to gym 5-6 times a week, despite boxing 3-4 times a week, I don't like my body. I didn't like my body at school when I was extremely thin. I left matric weighing 56 kilogram.
Wow.
Over the course of a Rhodes University education, that doubled because you drink at Rhodes University, and that's lots and lots of calories. And because of that social messaging that you were talking about, the normative standard for what is a beautiful body, an acceptable body, this is a body that I'm not comfortable in, to be honest.
But I love that we are having this conversation and we are changing the narrative because society is becoming a bit more open to these conversations. As a trans woman, were you always comfortable in your body, and was society putting on extra pressure for you being so comfortable in your body?
As a trans woman, I was never, obviously. So I suffered body dysmorphia and gender dysphoria, 2 mental illness at once. So I had to undergo the whole process, HRT, in order for me to feel comfortable in my own skin. And I want every single person out there to understand that trans individuals come in different forms. Not necessarily all trans individuals want to undergo the whole HRT process in order for them to feel comfortable in their own body, because it's a mental thing. So we have, like I've mentioned, gender dysphoria and body dysmorphia. So in my case, I suffered body dysmorphia and gender dysphoria. So I was never comfortable with the body that I was born in, and I'm still struggling with that on a daily basis since I'm a model as well. So whenever I gain weight, I tend to be hard on myself. I tend to not eat. So I suffered anorexia back in 2017 because of modeling. So it's a matter of trying to be your level best and trying to arrive, because it's a process.
Yeah.
It's a process. So like I'm learning every single day to not be hard on myself, because no one will ever be able to have an 100% image of what they desire to
You could sit on this couch with 0.3% body fat, and if that's your vibe, you'll be upset that it's 0.3 and not 0.2. That's just the way we're wired. We are constantly trying to improve. As you've said, you're not happy with the state that you're in at the moment, and it's not from a lack of trying. You enjoy the gym element. So what do you do then? What's the next step for you? Do you go under the knife?
The motivation for why you might want to go under the knife matters. I don't think there's anything wrong with someone saying, you know what, just for my own aesthetic preferences, I want a little bit of Botox, or I want to have a liposuction. I don't think we should judge someone ethically for that, or want to have a national boss barad. What is it about society that made you CBS have a tummy tuck? However, for me personally, Graham, the reality is that all surgery is inherently invasive. So I wouldn't go under the knife. I would rather see the temptation to do so being symptomatic of the fact that I don't love myself. And I'd rather spend time with my therapist, which I am doing, to try and aim at loving myself for no reason at all than trying to go under the knife. Because I bet you'll go under the knife a week
find
later.
something else. Yeah, for sure, for sure.
Bring it back to you, Leslie Khanola. You were the first openly trans woman to make it into Miss South Africa Top 30 pageant, right? And speaking about all the things, the challenges that you faced, you know, dysmorphia, anorexic, how did you overcome this? How do you sit here on the couch being so confident and proud with the skin that you were in?
It's a process. It's a process. I'm not there yet, but I'm getting there, slowly but surely. So during the Miss South Africa pageant selection, top 10 selection, I was never comfortable, more especially since it was a time where I didn't have my SRS and we had to do bikini shoots. So I was never comfortable, and also my thighs. I feel like my biggest insecurities are my thighs. Like I have thick thighs, not like model-sized thighs. So I constantly tell myself that you are perfect. Like you've always been saying that you were created for a reason. Always keep that in mind, that those thick thighs save lives.
Hello, come on.
Yeah, and as you said, I hurt my legs. I can just feel eyes across the whole country rolling like, oh my God, I wish I had your thighs. That's how we're wired, and maybe this is the sick joke. Maybe we're wired like that so we don't ever stop trying to improve ourselves or finding some kind of new ground mentally to accept ourselves. Those two agendas, I think, are probably going to be at war with each other, and with good reason. We want to be improving. But to that person that is sitting at that low point now where they just cannot get that connect between how they see themselves and the body that they're in, what advice do you have for them, Eusebius?
It takes a pathway of habituating yourself to get to what I'm about to say. But the goal that you should strive towards is to love yourself for no reason at all. We cannot love ourselves conditionally. I will be happy if I have a six-pack. I will be happy if I drop my pant size from 34 to 30, for example. Because I promise you, psychologically, you will keep shifting the goalpost. You will get your six-pack, and then the next thing you will go, oh my God, I wish I had an IQ of 132. What can I do to improve my brain power? Let me take brain food. So you're constantly going to recalibrate what it means to be happy and to love yourself. And so the goal should be to love yourself for no reason. As a bonus, you can chip away at particular goals. I'd love to look good for December. I'd love to have a beach body. There's nothing wrong with goal setting, but you should not tie self-love to those.
Yeah. What about for you, Lesogonolo? What does it mean to you? And maybe give advice for other women or trans women watching right now and saying, you know what, I want to be like her. I want to be able to be so positive and just be comfortable.
There is nothing wrong about wanting to change. If you seriously want to evolve as a person, you need to love yourself. There is no need for you to be comfortable, but love yourself, because with that you would be able to attract peace. So always keep in mind that peace only comes to those who preach it. Do not self-hate, because the moment you say you hate your body, I don't like this and this and this, you'll end up having more and more and more self-hatred. So rather practice love, preach love to yourself. So affirmations on a daily basis are needed.
Can the two of you write a book? Like, I feel like the two of you need to sit down, write a book, and we will just read it every single day.
Probably written about 5 already in the time that we've been sitting here. I love this. This whole time I've been speaking about, speaking to myself, trying to reinforce the words that you've been saying, because it was a light bulb moment for me. Acceptance of oneself is one thing. You want to be striving to be a better version of yourself. Loving yourself is something else entirely. And thank you so much. I'm actually getting quite emotional about thinking about it, but it's a powerful notion here. It needs to start with unconditional love. What an amazing conversation. I think understanding what it means to be body positive through self-love and then self-acceptance is important. As we are having conversations like these, it's given me goosebumps, in fact.
Of course, you too can join this week's Brave Conversation and also stand a chance to win that final 1,000 Rand cash prize with Ingrams. And to be chosen as their last lucky winner, all you need to do is very simple. Reply to the competition post on the Expresso Facebook, Twitter or Instagram page and tell us what you love the most about your body. Don't forget to include that hashtag, your skin, your brave. Now, this week's competition closes on Friday, the 9th of September at midday. And remember, those T's and C's can be found on expressoshow.com.
Do you own your skin? Do you wear it bravely, even when others try to dim its glow? Does it represent your strength, your heritage, or does it express your brave and unconditional love? New look Ingrams, your skin, your brave.
people we love are the ones that need us most. That's why I took out life insurance from Old Mutual, so he'll always get what he needs, even if I'm not there.
Speak to your advisor and help your family get ahead of life.
Now, I know that this is a very difficult conversation to have, but I'm going to urge you to do it right now. Just spend a little bit of time thinking about this with us. Losing a loved one is never easy. It undoubtedly puts severe emotional and, yes, financial strain on the entire family. But with personalized life insurance, you can worry less about finances and more about what matters most. And joining us this morning is Kensani Baloyi, a product expert from Old Mutual, who has opened my eyes and made me feel a lot more comfortable about dealing with these things. So thank you so much for that. I know you have to do this every day, but it still doesn't make it any easier to broach death. I mean, it's that one big final gateway that we have to pass through, but we leave others behind. And I think that's been the real pressure point for me. As much as we want to look after our family, it's tough enough doing it now while we're alive because of the pressures that we feel financially, more so after the last 3 years of COVID. How much does life insurance cost? Let's get real.
So thanks for having me again. The cost of life insurance really varies from person to person. And this is because when you apply for life insurance, we take a look at your individual risk profile and we determine just how much cover we can offer you and how much it will cost. But after that, it's all just within your control because we've designed our products so modularly that you can choose and pay only for the cover that you need and not that which you don't. And what's great is that you can structure your cover so that it meets what your exact needs are and what your budget is.
Life changes. How flexible can your cover be when you say that this is there to match your lifestyle? How much kind of breathing room do we have within that?
So it's absolutely flexible. And just to give you an idea of how flexible it is, say, for example, your biggest need is to retire comfortably, right? And not have to worry about insurance premiums after you retire. We give you the option to pay premiums only up until retirement age and continue to enjoy cover thereafter.
Wow.
But more to that, as we just spoke about now, we give our customers the option to pay only for the cover that they need and not that which they don't, but the flexibility to add and remove benefits and features from their product as and when their life circumstances change, because we all know the importance of having your life insurance keep up with our ever-changing circumstances.
I love that, and because what you want out of life is going to change, but also the immediate pressures on you are going to change because that's what life is like. There is this gateway that you go through that we've alluded to in terms of that awful moment when we do lose someone. Additional financial pressures in the long term, but also in the short term. The funeral and costs around funerals, and it's not just for the funeral itself, but how do you transport people? Those sorts of considerations. So I'm guessing there is a different approach when we talk about life cover and when we talk about a funeral plan. So what are the stark differences between the two, and how do they kind of really come to bear?
So I think let's start with the similarities. So life insurance and funeral insurance are quite similar in the sense that both pay out when the insured person dies, but then they've been designed for different purposes. So funeral insurance pays out within hours of a claim being approved, right? And the money that gets paid out can help those that you leave behind with the immediate expenses. As you alluded to earlier, expenses associated with the funeral, so catering, transporting people to and from the funeral. But life insurance, on the other hand, has been designed to help your family maintain the same quality of life that they enjoyed while you were still around. And it pays out a more considerable amount of money, either as a lump sum or a monthly income. And your beneficiaries can decide what to use that money for, depending on what their needs are at that point in time. So they can use it towards the cost of education, towards paying for the bond or their rent, whatever living expenses they have on a daily. So that said, both are a very important part of every financial plan because they serve different purposes, but are very, very important to have.
I think a lot of people just broaching the idea, the notion of moving on is a difficult one to do, but it becomes quite a complex thing, at least when you think about it. Is it complex? How complicated can it be, or should it be when you start? Where do we begin this process of taking out life insurance?
Taking out life insurance is not complicated at all. It's as easy as just doing 3 things. So the first thing that one needs to do is reach out to a financial advisor. And if you don't have one, you can contact one of Old Mutual's financial advisors on 0860 60 60 60, or you can visit our website on oldmutual.co.za/life. And the second thing you need to do is provide all the documents that are required, or whatever requirements associated with the type of life insurance you're applying for. And thirdly, you just need to pay your premiums. And these 3 things can give you and your family a lifetime worth of peace of mind, knowing that those that you leave behind will be cared for. And again, you know, all throughout this process, you will have the support of your financial advisor just to give you that much needed guidance if ever.
I love that. You know, when we talk about generational wealth, this is a way that you can achieve that in 3 easy steps, as you've just laid out. But it's that peace of mind.
Absolutely.
The fact that you can think about life beyond your passing, and it does make it a lot easier to broach such a difficult time. Oh, thank you so much. I do feel a lot better, as I knew I would. It is a very difficult thing to think about, but we've got to, not for our sake, but for our families. Simplicity, customization, and yes, flexibility. I love that. Those seem to be the key words that we can take from today's discussion, and I'm there for that. Reach out to the Old Mutual team and find out which cover suits your life and your lifestyle best, and how you can customize it to fit your needs, and I suppose most importantly, your budget right now, so you can start on that journey. You can call 0860 60 60 60 or visit them online simply at oldmutual.co.za/life.
What do you want to play?
The people we love are the ones that need us most. They'll always need a place to call home and opportunities to build their future.
Daddy, come.
That's why I took out life insurance from Old Mutual, so he'll always get what he needs, even if I'm not there.
Get 5 million Rand life insurance for only 509 Rand per month. Speak to your advisor and help your family get ahead of life.
It's a few minutes after 8. Let's take a final look at your morning headlines. National news. President Cyril Ramaphosa says the rise in employment, as well as promising signs of recovery in other areas, should encourage role players to continue with the implementation of the economic reconstruction and recovery plan. Ramaphosa says in his weekly newsletter that the latest employment figures, according to which the workforce climbed from 14.5 million to 15.5 million in the first half of the year, indicate that the country's economy is showing encouraging signs of recovery. And staying with local news, the High Court in Pretoria has dismissed with contempt attempts to delay the Life Isidemi inquest into the death of some 144 patients in June 2016. The former Gauteng mental health director, Dr. Manamela, has been compelled to testify despite arguing that she wanted a postponement. The court argued that it would not be in the interest of justice to grant it. Judge Tefo made the ruling. Manamela is expected to tell the court who exactly granted the order to relocate over 2,000 mentally ill patients from Life Isidimeni facilities. Moving to news abroad, famine is at the door in parts of Somalia, the UN's humanitarian chief Martin Griffiths warned yesterday. During a media conference in the capital, Mogadishu, he said he had concrete indications that famine would occur in parts of Somalia between next month and December. This comes after his visit to the southwest of Somalia, the area of the country's worst affected by the current drought ravaging East Africa. Now, 4 failed rainy seasons have caused the displacement of more than 1 million people in the Horn of Africa's worst drought in 40 years. And staying with news abroad, Liz Truss have been named the new leader of the Conservative Party and Britain's new Prime Minister after defeating Rishi Sunak in the Tory leadership contest. She is the 3rd woman to hold this position after Margaret Thatcher and Theresa May. Truss takes over the reins from Boris Johnson. Truss says her biggest challenge is tackling the country's energy crisis after Russia suspended its gas supply to Europe. Another challenge, she says, is the country's extremely high inflation rate due to the power crisis. And And in an effort to make something good of a bad situation, residents on the island of Gotland in Sweden have spent this year letting their green lawns die off in a mass effort to conserve water. On offer for the winner on a competition to determine the ugliest lawn was the re-landscaping of his or her garden into a low-water environment. Gotland has been receiving unprecedented numbers of tourists in recent years, putting a strain on groundwater supply as the population can double on the island in the warmer months of the year. The increase in demand for water supplies, coupled with decreasing supply, led the island to initiate an irrigation ban, to which the locals responded with their ugly lawn competition. Now, the winning lawn was humorously described as, and I quote, a really lousy lawn that lives up to all of the expectations of Gotland's ugliest lawn. Well, makes one wonder that there's that saying that's now been transformed, and it looks like the grass is always browner on the other side of the fence. Well, that's where I leave your morning headlines for now. Let's take a look at your traffic.
Well, you can inspect your lawn on your way out to the car, but let's get you prepped for the traffic today. Belleville in Cape Town is where we start. There's a stationary vehicle on the N1 inbound. That's on the ramp to Durban Road. Left lane has been obstructed, so please approach with caution. Moving to Boksburg in Johannesburg, there's a multi-vehicle accident on the N12 westbound. That's after Atlas Road. 2 lanes currently closed and there's slow-moving traffic. Then shifting to Alberton in Johannesburg, another accident seen on the N12 west. That's before the Reading interchange, causing a delay of more than 20 minutes from the Elance interchange. So be extra and add extra travel time there to your journey. That's where we leave the traffic. Let's get into the weather. We kick off this morning with news of a major move to green energy. Before we get to that, let's think about the sunny weather ahead today. So let's kick it off with that morning weather news of a major move towards greener energy. We love the sound of that. The City of Cape Town says it has budgeted 86 million rand for the next 3 financial years for the operation and maintenance of a landfill gas flaring system at the Fisherhoek landfill. Now, this is as the city aims to generate electricity from landfill gas. Organic matter that ends up in landfills decomposes in the absence of oxygen and then forms landfill gas that is very rich in methane. Mayoral Committee member for Urban Waste Management, Grant Twigg, says to reduce emissions from the landfill, wells are being dug into the landfill sites to extract the gas. The wells are then connected to the flare compound where it's combusted and in the future be diverted to a gas engine to generate electricity. And Twigg reiterated, and we quote, although the expected contribution of waste to energy activities is not sufficient to reduce load shedding, the reduction in emissions will be achieved effectively at no additional cost to the ratepayer. The perfect fit. Now, for our final weather update this morning, we had this one beautiful picture sent in by Earl van Amersstad, or Amersdam rather, who had some fun this morning out in Port Shepstone. Look at that, playing in the sand, showing his love for the show. Beautiful. Then Gary Oakham from East London snapped this captivating shot. Nice creativity there in his rear view mirror while heading to work as the sun peaks through the clouds out in the distance. Nancy Governor, another regular, sent in this spectacular shot of a tractor showing off with the beautiful background of the sun rising out in Pennington in KZN. Then finally, we've got Ivandre Vessels from Pretoria showing off the view from her back garden with vivid colours lighting up the sky as she starts her Tuesday morning. Hope it's going to be a spectacular day. Thank you so much. Please make sure that you guys also share your sunrise views. Send them on our WhatsApp line 063-408-8863. Right, let's see what temperatures we've got in store for you today. Starting in Polokwane, you kick off on 10 degrees, going up to 26 degrees. In Bombela, 13 your low, going up to 21. Pretoria, 11 and 28 your range. Johannesburg, 9 and 26 degrees. Mahikeng, 12 your low, going up to a high of 31. Klerksdorp also feeling the heat. 8 is where you start, going up to 29 degrees. Kimberley, 6 and 24. Bloemfontein, your low, 2, going up to 25. Richards Bay, 14 and 21%, or 21 degrees rather. Pietermaritzburg, 9 your low, going up to a high of 20 with an 82% chance of rain. Going to be wet weather in Durban, 16 your low, going up to 21 with a 55% chance of rain. Tata, 6 and 21 your range. East London, 10 your low, going up to a high of 20. Craddock, 3 your low, going up to 21. Gqeberha, 9 your low, going up to 18. George, 8 your low, going up to 16 degrees. Cape Town ranging between 8 and 16. Worcester, 6 and 19. Southern chilly start, 3 degrees, going up to only 17. Uppington, slightly milder, 5 is where you start, but you go up to a high of 25 degrees. Please enjoy the sunny weather wherever you find yourself, and make sure it is a beautiful day.
Yeah, wherever you find yourself, even if you're in Amersdam, and I absolutely love that. Now, I know this is a great opportunity for each and every one of us to find a healthier you, and that starts with you and your colourful plate.
That's
and I know
right.
you are here for it.
That's right. Now, colour your plate with Koo. It is back with season 2, and it will be on the search for Mzansi's next cooking star.
It's an exciting reality competition. It's something you're absolutely going to love. And it's a show that kicks off this evening at 7 p.m. on SABC2. And tonight, 5 passionate foodies cook off to impress the judges, Ruben Rifle and Arthur Ramoroka.
That's right. Now, don't miss tonight to see who makes it through. And here is a little teaser.
Color Your Plate with Koo is back on SABC2 with a flavor-filled second season that will have you eating better with Koo. Passionate foodies from across the country face off every week to create a colorful, balanced plate and impress the judging panel. Featuring award-winning chef and cookbook author Ruben Riffle and nutrition expert Arthur Ramoroka, with special appearances from more of SA's biggest stars. Color Your Plate with Koo from Tuesday, 6 September at 7 p.m. only on SABC2.
Can I take a photo of you?
Sure.
Perfect.
Thanks. So you guys do this every morning? I say you guys do this every morning.
Small morning.
Morning, Doctor. How are
Hi,
you?
good. How are you?
Good. My name is Zoe.
Nice to meet you, Zoe.
I just want to check. It is
1, 2, 3. Testing, testing, baked beans.
Kenneth, yes. Opera, yes.
What are the chances?
What are the chances,
So
exactly? I don't sing.
Oh no, but it's fine. You've got all the medical knowledge that we're going to pick your brain for. So, this might feel redundant, but there are still people that don't know what PCOS is or PCOS. How do you pronounce?
It's my feel-good breakfast show.
Salome Polycos helps regulate menstruation and reduces the male sex hormones. Get the help you need for PCOS with Salome. Your journey matters.
Well, welcome back. It is Health Tuesday on your Feel Good Breakfast Show, and today is all about medical things. And as adults, when we have allergies, it can leave us feeling ill and miserable. So just imagine when kids are involved. But you know what? For now, we are also putting the focus on female health. Now, something we've heard all the time is PCOS or PCOS, and it's one of those things that really affect women, and often it only gets detected once women try to conceive. But what about women that do not want to conceive? How do we treat it? What is that? And of course, we have gynecologist and Dr. Lynelle Kenneth with us today, and she's here to just talk us through the differences when it comes to treatments. Doctor, for those who don't know what PCOS or PCOS is in terms of how it's diagnosed, can you just refresh our memory?
Thank you, Zoe, and thank you for inviting me on the show and discussing an important topic. So the diagnosis of PCOS is not an easy one to make, especially in young ladies and adolescents. We look for specific criteria before we can actually say that a patient has got PCOS. One of them being irregular cycles is what they usually come to us complaining of. The others might be features of what we call hyperandrogenism, which in simple terms means a higher type of male hormones or testosterone levels, and that usually manifests with acne and increased hair growth. And then the last criteria we look for is, on ultrasound, we look for what we call a polycystic ovary. Like I said, in an adolescent, we have to firstly exclude other conditions such as thyroid dysfunction. They often have irregular cycles for up to 3 years. So you'd need to do a full workup before labeling a patient as having PCOS. And lastly, an adolescent ovary, for example, would look multicystic or multifollicular on an ultrasound. So it's tricky in a younger patient. So we usually try not to label them with that diagnosis until we've done the full workup and investigations.
Is a workup like that very invasive for a young lady?
So in patients who are not yet sexually active, we try to not do anything that involves an internal examination. So for example, the ultrasound would be done as a transabdominal scan, and we usually ask them to come with a full bladder, which is usually helpful to then visualize an ovary in that fashion. But we might still miss it, and then we have the blood investigations that we need to do to also look for the metabolic components. So it's a combination of hormonal and metabolic features.
Now, Dr. Kenneth, there are quite a few women that have PCOS and they don't even know it. What are the implications for not treating it or leaving it untreated?
So like I mentioned, Zoe, the chronic complications could involve metabolic problems, and we look at metabolic syndrome, which includes things like high cholesterol, hypertension, the development of diabetes later on in their lives, and then lastly, they could be at risk of endometrial cancer as they get into their latter years, 50s and 60s. So there are definitely implications if it's left undiagnosed and untreated.
What can we use in terms of to help those who have PCOS or have been diagnosed with it? How does the help of inositol help with the management of some of the PCOS symptoms?
So one of the large aspects of PCOS is something we call insulin resistance, and that is a feature that we find in both our lean patients as well as our overweight patients. And with the help of what we call insulin sensitizers, we try to reduce the levels of circulating insulin. Inositol-containing compounds have shown to be beneficial in reduction. However, it has been used in combination with other insulin sensitizers, and I can't overemphasize the benefit of diet and exercise. That's going to be the mainstay of treatment, whether one is trying to conceive or not trying to conceive.
Well, Dr. Kenneth, thank you so much for joining us today and, of course, shining the spotlight. It is so important to broaden our understanding on different women's journeys, and today's discussion really opened up the platform for just that. And with Salome, your journey matters.
Cysts in the ovaries, irregular or missing periods, and high male sex hormones are symptoms of polycystic ovary syndrome. If you experience 2 of these 3, you may have it. It's also the leading cause of infertility in women. Salome Fertility helps regulate ovarian function and helps improve fertility. Salome PCOS helps regulate menstruation and reduces the male sex hormones. Get the help you need for PCOS with Salome. Your journey matters.
Welcome back to the kitchen. Making delicious, healthy meals requires, yes, a little bit of creativity, especially when entertaining at home. We want to do something special. Now, the incredibly talented food blogger and recipe developer and soon-to-be cookbook creator, Teresa Uliate, is here to show us how to reimagine a quick, easy and nutritious Mexican grilled chicken Cobb salad with a Cross and Blackwell trim that is going to have everyone coming back for more. Cross and Blackwell really has something for everyone. It's the tang for me, Teresa.
Totally.
I love
Absolutely.
it. So what's the vibe here? What is a Cobb salad?
So essentially it's a salad with all your fresh ingredients, but we've got boiled eggs, we've got chicken, and we've got avo.
Aha.
So
that's
lots
the
of
base.
protein and yeah, very delicious, very satisfying.
Yeah, all the healthy oils, you've got
Yeah.
great textures, and it's
Love
a nice
it, love
flavor
it.
profile. Dig the Mexican vibe. I'm
Yes,
here for that.
love the Mexican. So get yourself some Mexican spice. and pop it onto your chicken. So we've got some deboned chicken thighs.
Okay, I
and
like that.
A bit of salt and pepper.
Yeah, and I like the fact that we're using the thighs. For me, it's a slightly different flavour, maybe a little bit more flavourful. You've probably got more fats in the meat there as well.
They're nice and juicy, and they cook quickly as well, so it's very convenient. And you can actually do this step ahead of time.
Okay.
So you can let it marinate overnight or even just a couple of hours,
Really
and that'll
let
really
those
deepen that
flavours get
flavour.
in there, cool.
And if you're not into chicken, if you're a vegetarian, you can use tofu or another alternative, so you can still definitely make the salad.
Yeah, I've been playing around with tofu. I've been trying to increase my kind of veggie offering a little bit. I think my son's become a lot more conscious of what he's eating now, which is raising some moral questions that are proving quite difficult for me to answer more than anything else. But I am trying to experiment, and it's worth it because you know what your family likes. So try around with new things. But I love this as a starting point. You've got a beautiful flavour profile to play around with. And like you say, change in the protein, change it up.
Exactly. No, we're having the same thing at home, and I know other people are too, so you're not alone. All right, you're going to chop some lettuce for me.
Okay.
And I'm going to start constructing our salad.
Okay, and I love this. We're using the baby heads here, which is nice.
Yeah, and
full
it's got
of
some nice
body.
texture as well.
What sort of cuts are you
So
wanting?
some nice slices.
Like that, cool.
Yeah, and you can pop them in a salad bowl. And then we've got lots of beautiful ingredients. So we've got some cherry tomatoes. And look at that colour,
beautiful
that's
texture,
so
yeah.
fresh. I love it, I love it. And then we've got some corn, so we've grilled the sweet corn and then cut it off the cob. So again, you've got that smokiness.
Yeah, I think
Really
corn
delicious.
really does benefit with a bit of charring. There's something about it that just
Absolutely.
brings out
I
such a
agree.
beautiful flavour profile.
We've got some beans, so this is adding to the Mexican vibes. Some
Very
black
nice.
beans. Just make sure you rinse them because they can be a little bit slimy when they come out of the
Okay.
tin. So
Yeah,
do
they'll
you
obviously
wanna
be in a
pop some
brine or
cheese
something
over
like
me?
that.
Some pepper,
Ooh.
and again you can actually toss that
beautiful.
together a little
Gorgeous,
bit.
eh?
Yeah, so beautiful. Oh, this chicken's looking good. The spice just smells so delicious.
It comes alive.
If you
I love
can't
it.
find a Mexican mix, you can also just make it yourself. So you're looking for a sort of a smoked paprika cumin combination, bit of salt, bit of coriander. So just make it yourself if you
Yeah, and I
have
think that
those
smokiness
ingredients.
is a theme here. I think
Yeah.
that's going to really
Absolutely.
kind of offset the flavours within the salad
This
beautifully.
looks like a cheese salad.
Yeah, it does, but there's nothing wrong with a cheese
The
salad.
goodness
We'll-
is underneath there.
And it smells amazing.
So good.
Oh, I love this. I think the difference in textures as well is going to be
Amazing.
spectacular.
And then don't forget the cross and blackwell at the end. So we're going to just put lashings of that on the top.
Oh, and I think that's going to elevate it. I love
Yeah.
that. And now, you might not have known this, but part of the Heart and Stroke Foundation, Cross and Blackwell, they really are playing their part. And we've got the low-fat version, which is less than 2 grams of fat per serving. That's actually really impressive. And of course, if you're looking for the vegan-friendly or egg-free option, you can find it there as well. Creamy, smooth, low tanginess, if that's your vibe. I'm going full tanginess. Pourable, so great for topping and for dips as well. They've made it as user-friendly as possible, if that makes any sense. You can really use it in baking, in cooking, and of course, as the perfect side. And then our chicken coming together beautifully.
There we go.
And I think those
So,
side
so
pieces
good.
really do hold the moisture as well.
They do. I mean, I can just feel they're still so juicy and they've got lots and lots of flavour. So you can just slice them up, pop them on top, and you're good to go.
And mix it up a little bit so it doesn't look completely like a cheese salad, but that looks amazing. Well, we have proven how easy it is, and we are proving how making healthier choices can be just as easy. And it doesn't mean sacrificing on the flavour. And with this cross and blackwell reduced oil variants as well, there is always something for absolutely everyone. So get this mouth-watering recipe on expressoshow.com. My mouth is watering so much I can hardly talk. And the cross and blackwell, of course, their family have exciting competitions coming your way as well very soon with some amazing daily prizes and a final grand prize to be won, and it's impressive. So make sure that you tune in next week to get all of those details on how you can enter. We'll make it as easy as possible. And please stay with us because after the break, we've got even more healthy solutions coming your way that are going to be just as delicious, I promise.
Eating healthy doesn't have to be restrictive, dull, and boring. Reimagine your everyday healthy meals with Cross and Blackwell trim. It's tasty, vegan-friendly, and less than 2 grams fat per serve.
doing allergy here?
Yes, we are.
Would you mind getting out there?
Is
it right?
Go one more time.
Testing, testing, 1, 2, 3. Awesome.
Noticed affecting kids.
Prep for earlier.
This is the morning on the mic test 1, 2, 1, 2 coming at you live. Hello, Brew.
You don't mind the allergy in the photo?
No worries.
Thank you, perfect.
Perfect.
Thank you.
If I could chug it all the time myself.
Do you suffer from allergies?
Yes, all the time.
Oh, okay. This is Raul once again coming at you live on Expresso. It is Health Tuesday. Welcome back to Tuesday on your Feel Good Breakfast Show. Is that else we have allergies? Again, leave us.
It's my Feel Good Breakfast Show.
Free to be you. Live, work, play, sleep, allergy-free with Allergex non-drowsy.
Yes, Mzansi, welcome back. My favorite day of the week. It's Health Tuesdays, of course, on your Feel Good Breakfast Show. And we're going to dive back into some good conversation related to this. Now, as adults, when we have allergies, it can leave us feeling ill and miserable. So just imagine how kids must feel. I mean, come on, poor little buggers. Now, figuring out what your kids need and what is best for them when it comes to allergies can be a challenge. But thankfully, the doctor's in the house. We've got Dr. Anissa Varhead, who is here to help us out when it comes to our allergies. Firstly, good morning. How are you doing, Doc?
I'm good. Thank you so much for having me back.
You look lovely. You look
Thank you.
radiant.
Thank
And
you.
you look allergy-free right now, so
Yes,
that's a good
definitely
thing.
all dosed up on my antihistamines.
But let's talk about allergies exactly, because I can imagine it's quite different when it comes to kids versus adults and allergy treatment specifically.
Yes.
Is there an actual difference, or is it quite similar?
It is quite similar and different, yes and no,
Yeah.
especially with kids. I think obviously they are much more smaller than us adults, and with adults we tend to be able to avoid the triggers. So if we want to avoid that banana and the peanut, we'll easily avoid it. And with kids, they don't. They see that peanut butter sandwich in their schools, in their lunchbox from their friend, and they will eat it. And trying to avoid those kind of triggers for them is much more trickier. And also with them, a huge role for them, especially a huge thing that kind of involves this whole allergy system, is immune system. So what happens is that when they're born, their immune system is very immature, and as they get older, it evolves.
Yes.
So as they get older, their anatomy evolves also, it gets bigger, and all those signs change. So as they're kind of getting older and older, it eventually gets into the same treatment as adults, but you've got to watch and see how they do.
Got to watch and keep monitoring. What then would be, in terms of, let's say, kids, what are some of the factors that affect kids when it comes to allergies?
So factors that can kind of cause like triggers, especially in allergies to children. I could be that melodramatic mom and say, you know what, it's everything. It's in our environment. And it is.
Yeah.
We're going into pollen season. It's in our air, so smoke exposure. Something simple as a temperature change or the weather changing. So in Cape Town, the weather's going up and down, or everyone's chest is going crazy. We can go into food allergies. We can even go into like animal dander. So like all our pets, they can actually trigger allergies later on in life. And even something such as medications. So different medications and preservatives in foods that can actually trigger allergies in children.
Wow. I mean, you obviously mentioned those triggers with allergies as well. Is it possible then, I mean, you mentioned that we have these weaker immune systems, or they're developing immune systems as we get older. Is it possible to kind of like outgrow an allergy?
It is. So we can actually, it can happen naturally. So it obviously depends, like we see it with little infants with cow's milk protein allergy. They can outgrow it by the age of 2 and 3. But it obviously depends on the type of allergy and the severity of it. So with peanuts, if you've got a very roaring allergy, unlikely to grow out of it. But you get assessed and then you see from there what exactly what will happen.
All right. Well, you established allergies. I think I'm pretty certain as to what triggers it and what it's all about. what is there, or is there a solution when it comes to trying to tackle allergies when it comes to, especially, let's say, kids? Because, I mean, it seems like they need it a little bit more than adults, because adults can kind of steer away from some of those triggers. Are there any solutions for kids?
So if I think about solutions, I'm thinking about prevention as number one. If we can try and prevent those allergies, it's that's like end goal. Obviously, we can't really avoid those genetics. So if you've got it in the family history, sorry, listen, you might be predisposed to getting it. But if we can lead healthy lifestyles, so our pregnant, our breastfeeding moms, avoid that smoke exposure, eat healthily, and even when we're trying to wean the children onto foods, trying to give them a diverse, healthy diet, especially in that first year of life, can actually give them an end goal. And then obviously at the end of it, if you've got those allergies, go for those routine health checkups. Let us pediatricians screen those children at those routine checkups. Let's diagnose it early so that we can actually avoid that unnecessary antibiotic use and get into the proper treatment right away and avoid going to that multi-pharmacy that you're going to have at home and those multi-drugs at home.
Speaking of pharmacy, I think there's something really cool that we do on the show. We celebrate pharmacies in the community through an initiative from Adcock, Ingrams, OTC, sponsors of Brave. And maybe you can maybe be a bit more elaborative here and say, what exactly does Brave mean to you when it comes to the impact that they have, when it comes to celebrating these pharmacies that are kind of looking out for solutions to assist people, maybe when it comes to allergies itself?
So I really love this platform, and I love it because if I think about being brave, we learn how to be brave by watching someone have the courage to do something they wouldn't normally do. And me as a pediatrician, we know the saying, it takes a village to raise a child. So having this platform to actually kind of raise and celebrate those heroes in our local community, it's great because we can actually show off those role models and tell these younger kids, listen, these are the role models that's in your community. Try and kind of aspire to be like them one day.
Setting the bar. And you've definitely set the bar here this morning. I can't thank you enough for coming through, and a beautiful education session when it comes to allergies, of course. But I think for you, Mzansi, as well, kids are definitely beautiful, and they are a handful as well. So there's no need to let allergies add to the troubles. So if you have a little one struggling with allergies, then you can definitely speak to your pharmacist. And remember, September is National Pharmacy Month, and self-care is a human right, and your pharmacist is your partner, right? So support your local pharmacy. They are a pillar of your community. They're looking out for you, and this is all brought to you by Allergy Non-Drowsy in proud association with Adcock, Ingrams, OTC, sponsors of Brave, and I love what they're doing, building communities one pharmacy at a time. And on top of that, don't forget, you stand a chance, Mzansi, to get in on the action. You can win a 2,000 Rand take-a-lot voucher daily. If you're wondering how that gets done, here's how.
Spring is glory. Oh, sorry. Oh, bless you, man. Bless you. Unless you suffer from allergies. But that has all changed with Allergy Non-Drowsy and the wonders of spring competition on Expresso this September.
So stand a chance to win a daily giveaway Monday to Friday of a 2,000 Rand take-a-lot voucher to spend on the best outdoor living gear.
I love that. So answer the weekly question on the Expresso Facebook or Twitter pages and include that all-important Allergy ND. The competition runs from the 1st till the 28th of September, and those terms and conditions do apply. Good luck and bless you, man.
Now, staying on the topic of amazing kids, as long as your children are involved in sporting activities, they're in a world where they really can try to be the best possible version of themselves. Not only are they going to get stronger, they're going to strengthen their minds as well. And best of all, they'll learn how to overcome so many different obstacles that life is going to throw at them. Now, I recently had the opportunity to visit an amazing place, Fitbox Durban, to see just how much energy goes into a grade 7 training session. And boy, I was incredibly impressed. Let's take a little look. This is my kind of a playground. I know this is going to get the kids coming in here to exercise super motivated, and that's what it's about. We know that sport has so many benefits for young people. It can just break the monotony of that day, get them out of that academic space, process their day, get rid of any excess tension or energy, any bad thoughts out the window. The endorphins come in. They just feel happier because they are moving. But you've got to get the kids moving, which means they need energy. How much energy? Well, we're going to speak to Sias Haman. He's the head of sports at Welgemoot Primary School, who are amazing, and we're going to find out firsthand what these kids need. Sias, you've got one of the coolest jobs in the world. I think you've got young people under your care and you're helping them discover the joys of sport. We love it. We've obviously got to feed these growing bodies and give them energy. How important is nutrition?
Nutrition is vital, especially in sport. It's massive in terms of their development and also how they perform after doing 6 to 7 hours of school in the morning. Especially outside when they get onto the sports field, their match might be at 4 or 5 o'clock. So if nutrition is lacking, it'll definitely show in their game in the afternoon as well.
Wow, I can feel the burn just looking at these kids. And remember, they are just kids. It's hitting home that they need focus and they need dedication, whether they're training in a session like this, whether they're out on the practice field, and especially in matches. So how do they get it right? I'm keen to connect with them to find out how they find that balance and that focus and that dedication. You guys have barely even broken a sweat. You're not even breathing heavy. Clearly the fitness is working. Don't show me the shaking legs. Well done, guys. You guys are hitting it hard. How much energy do you need to get through a session like that?
For me, I just fight through it and I go through steps one by one.
You've got to have that strength when you do it. How important do you think what you eat is for doing exercise like this?
I think eating well is very important. If you eat junk food, you're not going to get enough energy and you're just going to have that fat and not any of the benefits of eating, say now, eggs before you practice.
Like the coaches hard at work around us here, sports coaches play a vitally important role. I'm talking about teamwork. I'm talking about character building. I'm talking about leadership. Why? Because these are those vital life skills that are going to carry their students through the rest of their life. And this is exactly what gets Sir Lance, one of the Fitbox instructors, up in the morning. This is one motivated guy.
Sport and fitness is a journey. When I started off, I just wanted to improve myself, and then ultimately I came into the coaching space. I've learned discipline, I've learned hard work. It gives me more joy and mostly courage in what I'm doing. I think it's important for them to do sports because it's going to teach them a little bit more about themselves, teamwork, and I think just when we talk about community in life, it starts with sport, and sport is the building of community further on.
A lot of our sports are team sports, unless you go to individual sports like tennis or athletics. So we focus a lot on teamwork, playing for each other. I think that's also one of the skills that you learn as you grow older. You're not always going to be by yourself. You're going to have to work in a team. You might not always enjoy working with that specific person, but we promote that kind of culture that you play for each other.
When I put together a training session, I'm looking at 3 things firstly. Today, it's about reaction, it's about working hard, and them listening. The entire training session will have moments in the training session where they have to listen, they have to work hard, and where they have to react to what I ask them to do. And ultimately, that's going to allow us to get them onto the field and off in a good place.
I'm sure feeling the pump now. You guys hit it hard with that training session. How are you feeling?
Quite feeling good. I think the exercise is good for you once in a while.
On a scale of 1 to 10, I would probably rate it an 8 because they push you to the limit, but they teach you to also, you can dig further into your reserves, like in a game, so you can go further.
So clearly exhausting work. What do you say to yourself when you need to dig deep like that?
Keep on going, you're almost there, and when you're done, it's all over. And then you can just, you can worry about the next thing that's coming up.
You guys are having really long days. What do you do when you need that energy kick to keep you going?
I just drink a cup of Milo. It really gets me through the practice and helps me not get muscle aches after practice.
For the day, I start off with Milo cereal in the morning because it gets me throughout the whole day, through work, through sports, through running. It gives me that energy I need.
To start a good day, you need fuel, and breakfast is the most important part of the day. A car requires fuel to go places. Your body requires that first meal so that you're able to listen in class and do the different activities you need to do.
Having spent the whole afternoon watching these kids apply themselves and get so much out of the session. A couple of things are clear to me. You got to have your mates around you. That teamwork is awesome. You got to have a great coach in your corner, and the team at Fitbox are amazing as well, and they really do care. And yes, you've got to have a substantial breakfast so that you've got the energy to go out there and conquer your school day. I didn't even train, and I'm exhausted. So proud of them. I love it. Whether you like it hot or cold, a glass of Nestle Milo paired with a healthy breakfast is the perfect way to start your day and then stay energized throughout that day, no matter which sport you choose. And I've got to put my hand up for those youngsters. They rocked that session. Well done. Cheers.
It's go time with a cup of Nestle Milo at breakfast. Give your kids the energy to go further.
Milo. Milo. Only you can make my day.
Nourish your skin with Ingrams tissue oil and rich skincare range. Now with 72-hour rich moisture for radiant glowing skin. New look Ingrams, your skin, your brave.
It's my feel-good breakfast show.
Staying healthy and feeding our bodies with the right supplements and good bacteria found in probiotics must be our top priority. And joining us this morning is UK-based microbiologist and founder of Proven 50 billion Shapeline Probiotics, Dr. Nigel Plummer, who's going to be sharing the latest in health benefits on this truly power-packed pill. Doc, so good to connect with you again. First up, how are you on the other side of the world?
I'm very well, Graham, but I'm actually on your side of the world. I'm sitting in the Kruger Park at the moment, so having a great time. It's a fantastic place.
Oh, one of the best in the world. If you're going to do it, this is how you do it, my friend. I'm so glad that you're getting to experience that. So good to be connecting with you again at such a vital time. I think we are having some major light bulb moments within the medical fraternity around what you are doing. There is this increasing awareness that optimizing gut health is central to improving our overall health and well-being. Why is gut health so important? What is the connection here?
Well, there's a lot of evidence now that if we can get our gut health right, that it sets a real platform to get our overall bodily health right. And connected is also exactly the right word, in that our gut is connected to almost all of the organs and systems in our body. For instance, the immune system, hormonal system. Our gut also has its own nervous system, which is intimately and totally connected to our brain. So there's a gut-brain link. And very importantly and uniquely, the gut has this microbiome, which is this fantastic community of thousands of billions of bacteria that we have in our gut. It's in there for all of our lives, and it exerts benefits. It's part of this communication system. So if we can get our microbiome right, we can get our gut right, it gets our overall health right as well.
Now, because this microbiome is so important to our health, I'm guessing this is where probiotics really come to bear.
Exactly right. When we make a probiotic, what do? What we do is basically take what we consider to be the most beneficial members of our microbiome. We take them out, and via the probiotic, we put them back into the person again in typically greater numbers than are there already, to hopefully exert even greater benefits. That's what we do with probiotics. So when somebody takes a probiotic, the probiotic becomes part of that microbiome for a temporary period of time and starts to work benefits not just to the gut, but to all of our bodily organs and systems as well.
Now, you guys seem to kind of kickstart a quantum leap forward in this space. You've been involved with Proven Probiotics for over 25 years now, and there are a lot of probiotics out on the market in this space. But what makes Proven stand out from the rest? Why have you guys been able to get it right?
Well, over the past 25 years, we've done dozens now of clinical studies in humans. And what these have shown is that without doubt that the probiotics that are in Proven brand have the widest range of clinical benefits of any probiotic in the world. And that sets the Proven brand head and shoulders above anything else. So what would we normally expect from somebody taking Proven probiotic? They would expect, as they would do, gut health benefits. So you'll have less constipation and less diarrhea, less bloating, less gut pain. But as well as that, what you'll see is that both in adults and in children, you'll have less susceptibility to coughs and colds. You'll feel better mentally, better mental health, in that you'll be less anxious, you'll have a better mood, and you'll be able to concentrate better. All of these shown by clinical trials. And recently what we showed was that if you take Proven probiotics, you can even lose weight. That was from 2 very large trials that we did in the last 2 years. So the probiotics can help you lose weight as well, even without being on a calorie-controlled diet. If you get your microbiome right via probiotics, it has benefits across the entire body.
And it makes sense to me, and I think it really hit home the first time I connected with you, this notion of, first of all, the connectedness of everything, but how it is one system trying to balance itself out. And your immune system, your potential to lose weight, your energy, everything is all wrapped up within that one system. Now, you guys have got quite a range. There are several products in the Proven range with benefits for just about everyone. Can you tell us a bit more about what's on offer, and how do we go about selecting the right products for us?
So if you take our Proven brand, probably our go-to product is what we call Proven Adult, and this is a product where we've got 24 clinical trials supporting it. So all of the benefits that I've just been talking about will be provided by the Proven Adult product. But if somebody wants all of those benefits, but they also want to lose weight, then they should go for our Proven 50 billion shape line product. And also, if there are females out there, for the ladies, if you want to support genitourinary tract health as well as all of these other benefits, then go for Proven Women's Probiotic.
Absolutely love it. I think you guys have done something truly amazing. And it's not just with the discoveries that you've made along the way, but it's been your commitment to taking this to the level that you have. I can only imagine how many people you've already helped and how many more people are going to be able to access this. So thank you so much.
Great. Thanks, Graham. Thanks, everyone. Bye-bye.
An active lifestyle paired with healthy eating and giving our body that extra boost with the right supplements all plays such an important role in our health journey. And the Proven 50 billion shape line probiotic is now available at Clicks and other major pharmacy retailers nationwide, or available for purchase, as the doc said, on Proven Probiotics South African online store. And that's provenprobiotics.co.za. Go and give it a try.
Shapeline 50 billion may well be the world's most effective probiotic. Available at Dis-Chem and Clicks.
Now, when it comes to conscious eating, Storm Roger makes it her business to encourage making healthier choices. Now, she shows us how easy it is with these sweet potato and corn fritters, perfectly paired with a 100% glass of crush. And Teresa is here to show us exactly how it's done. Teresa, when it comes to a fritter, especially when there's corn involved, I'm sold.
Such a favorite, family favorite.
It's a family favorite, and whenever there's leftover cream sweet corn, my mom has always been instructed, please make me some fritters.
Oh, it's
I
the
love
best.
one.
And you have to have them fresh from the pan. Oh,
and if I see one on a menu at a restaurant, that's the one thing I always order.
Really? Your absolute favorite. Well, we are going to be adding sweet potato to these fritters, which is a lovely flavor and it helps to bind it all together. So what I've done is I've cooked some sweet potato and then just mashed it up. And you can use the white ones, the orange ones, whatever you have.
And it's also great, this is a great recipe if you've got some leftover sweet potato.
Exactly, just mash it up and use it to make your fritters. I'm going to add the sweet corn, and then we're going to add our cheese, which is also essential.
Okay, well, I'm going to pour us some of our clover crush, 100% fruity goodness, as a little refreshing drink.
Oh, delicious. And then can I ask you to chop some coriander for me as well, because that's going to go into the mix. I'm adding some spring onion and then some chili flakes.
Now, how much coriander is advisable? Because I know that's not everyone's favorite.
Not everyone's favorite.
Graham being in particular.
I would do a bunch and just finely chop it. It does mellow a little bit when you cook it, but if you're not a fan, you can leave it out or replace it with parsley or something like that. So,
just use a little less of it.
Yeah, exactly. I love it personally, but I know it's not for everyone. Don't forget to season with some salt and pepper.
Can I add that for you?
Yes, please. Thank you. And then we're also going to add a bit of flour just to help bring it all together.
Oh, fantastic. Now, I am sipping on some crush, and you'll get 100% tasty, refreshing goodness in every sip. And it's also a good dose of vitamins to enhance your health, because today is all about our Health Tuesday. This recipe, it is great. I love the ingredients you're using.
Yeah.
It's leftover ingredients. It's most pantry staples.
It's a great way to incorporate vegetables into your diet, and you can mix it up. You can use frozen vegetables, whatever vegetables you have in the fridge.
Is this something you can potentially prep in advance?
Yes, well, you can definitely prepare the mixture in advance. I would fry them fresh. I think that's a little bit better. And if you don't want to cook it in oil, you can cook it in the air fryer as well. So just make your little patties and then put them in the air fryer till they're golden. But yeah, you're just going to fry them until they're golden on both sides. And if you want to add a dipping sauce, you can.
Well, we've got some ready-made corn and sweet potato fritters over here.
They look amazing.
This is going to be breakfast. I feel like this is the perfect opportunity to not only have breakfast, but to really just enjoy it. I'm going to give it a little bit of a dip, as you suggested.
Well, you're getting a portion of veg in already, so
see?
You're off to a good start today.
Getting all my veggies in. Teresa, this is incredible. I love how quick and easy this recipe is. We have it for you on our website, expressoshow.com. So if you want to make your own corn and sweet potato fritters, you know where to get the recipe.
Yes, bring the family. 100%. Your cousin's coming over. Get the crush and I'll get the ice.
The whole family.
More Crush Mom, 100% refreshing, 100% goodness.
Made with love by Clover.
We have clarity.
Say hi to caller.
Huh?
Say hi to caller. You're on air. Say hi.
Hello, hello, hi.
Hello.
Hi, Abida, how are you doing?
I'm well, yourself.
Lekker. I can't hear you so well on my side. I think we're just waiting for the volume, but...
Am I speaking to Rao?
You are.
How are you doing?
I'm good. I hope you can hear me. I'm just hoping that I can hear you a little bit better. I'm waiting for the comms to come on my ear, but I believe we are about to do something special. Are you aware?
Yes. Yes, I am.
Okay. So I'm here with G as well. Graham is also next to me.
Good morning.
Good morning, Graham.
How are you?
I'm well yourself.
Very good.
It's my feel-good breakfast show.
Brought to you by Island Tribe Sun Protection. Island Tribe, keep fans protected as the sun shines on.
So I saw this at the airport on Sunday night.
Yeah.
There were all sorts of welcoming committees. I'm like, what's going on? What's going on?
Yeah.
Spanish flags, French flags.
Oh,
and then I saw the
yeah.
boys come through.
That's the big one.
Yeah, baby. We are just a few days away from the official kick-off of the Rugby World Cup Sevens,
yes.
people. It's happening here in Cape Town. So we want you to enjoy the gears of spring and, of course, the Rugby World Cup Sevens with Island Tribe Sun Protection, because you're going to need it, because the sun is going to hopefully come out over the next week. And we are giving you guys the chance of winning an awesome gas prize valued at 3,000 Rand daily.
Oh, I'm so excited for this. Now, yesterday we asked you who you think will win the Rugby Sevens World Cup, and we are so excited to announce our first winner. Right, so you're going to do the honor? Should I do it, G?
Let's do it.
We do it together?
Can we do the faux drum roll?
The faux drum roll. Let me put this down.
Beautiful,
our
beautiful.
winner is
I love it. You guys are definitely bringing the gears. And Abida commented this, saying, South Africa all the way,
Yeah,
hashtag
baby.
Island Tribe, hashtag join the tribe. And we actually have Abida Albertine on the line right now. Good morning, Abida.
Good morning. How are you?
Good. Are you feeling the boys' gears this morning?
Oh, yes, definitely. I'm so happy and delighted. Sure.
Well, congratulations. You are the winner of that gas prize to the value of 3,000 Rand. How does it feel?
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Oh, my gosh, I'm jumping up and down.
Now, I know you're going to definitely bring the gears, because I'm sure you're going to be cooking up something special. What exactly will you be cooking while the Rugby World Cup is happening? You're obviously going to be watching it. Maybe you can invite myself and G to add some more gears to it. I don't know. What do you think?
I'll bring an outside TV so we can watch outside while you braai. I love it.
I love it.
You're welcome. I'm going to braai tikka chicken.
Ooh, yum.
Ooh.
Lekker boerenworst with mealies.
What? That sounds...
And some garlic bread.
Oh, done.
Okay.
Done. Sold. The whole studio team is coming, so just go and buy a few extra chairs for outside.
We'll bring our own. We'll bring our own.
Yeah,
Okay.
no, we'll do it. I'll
that's
bring
just
my
it.
little stool and everything. I will stand. I don't care. We are coming. Abida, congratulations.
You are welcome, the whole crew.
Yes. I love it. Listen, it's a big family and they've got an appetite, but I think you're ready for that challenge, and I think the Boks are ready to do it for us as well. And with you in their corner,
yes.
I know they can. Abida, thank you so much. Have the most amazing World Cup experience, and please post tons of pictures of whatever you make first in your amazing new gas fry. Congratulations.
Thank you so much. I will definitely do that.
Oh, love it. Well, if you want to be like Abida, remember, you stand the chance to win a gas prize to the value of 3,000 Rand. And you simply need to reply to the competition post on Expresso's Facebook or Twitter page and tell us who you think the most valuable player in the Blitzbox team is. And remember to include that hashtag Island Tribe and join the tribe. The competition will close the 9th of September. There are some T's and C's that apply, and you can find it on our website, expressoshow.com.
Oh, it's going to be such an exciting one, and Island Tribe is going to keep fans protected as the sun shines on all day long.
Hopefully. Hopefully the sun will come out.
Brought to you by Island Tribe Sun Protection. Island Tribe, keep fans protected as the sun shines on.
Absolutely love it. So tomorrow, of course, it is time to open the line. The culinary hotline will kick off again. And how cool is this? We are going to be giving you the opportunity to win your very own herb garden.
And Sadika, you're going to be joining us for the culinary hotline,
I'm so
right?
excited.
Oh.
We're going to get spiced.
It's spiced. I absolutely love that. I'm here for the herb garden especially because it's such a pivotal and incredible way to obviously create your own flavors, create your own sensations, and get those infusions. And from what I saw you doing early on the show, you are going to knock this off the park. So I can't wait to see what you do.
I want to win the Spice Garden.
You're not allowed to enter, sister. None of us are. That's the pain of our existence. But we'll see you tomorrow. The tea will flow. Have an amazing day today. Never forget, we love you. Have an amazing day tomorrow. Adios. Well done.
Ladies, here's to 31 days of rewarding ourselves for the awesome job we do every day of the year. Made with love by Clover.
Another feel-good production.